Okay, looks like we're live. I pressed the wrong button, so let's go ahead and cue intro. CoCoTALK is an unscripted live broadcast. Anything can and will happen. The views and opinions expressed by members of the panel and the live audience are their own and not necessarily those of the CoCoTALK show, its sponsors, affiliates, or subsidiaries. Open minds encouraged, sense of humor recommended. If any off-color comments were made, we're sorry.
Hi, this is Dale Lear, designer of TRS 80 Color Baseball, and you're listening to CoCoTALK.
This is CoCoTALK, the world's leading live talk show featuring the Tandy Color computer. It's time to drop your socks and grab your real-time clocks, and let's rock.
CoCoTALK is rocking the 8-bit world, keeping the Tandy flame alive. We may be mocked, but we'll never stop, cause CoCoTALK is rocking the 8-bit world.
All right, and good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of CoCoTALK. We are here with you now on episode 142, where we talk about everyone's favorite processor, the 6502. Are you ready to rock?
CoCoTALK is rocking the 8-bit world, keeping the Tandy flame alive. We may be mocked, but we'll never stop, cause CoCoTALK is rocking the 8-bit world.
All right, we're here. We are rocking the 8-bit world, and we got the band together to rock out with you. In the house, on the main stage, our front man, Chet Simpson's with us. How's it going, Chet?
It is going wonderful. Nice and warm here in Vegas.
Excellent. On lead guitar, Michael Furman.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Glad to be with you.
All right. The rhythm ukulele section, Nick Marotta. Nick Marotta, how you doing?
Good. How you doing? We're bracing for a metric ton of snow up here, but other than that, doing well.
Fabulous. Speaking of ukuleles, he's got one that costs approximately $5, and he probably spent $4 too much on it. Jason, the Coco Man Reichert's here.
Yeah, that's $5 plus tax.
He almost had to stream the show today because I had an electrical emergency in my office, and he's here with us. Mark Bosley's in the house. Welcome, Mark.
Hello, everybody. Glad to be here.
I believe he's flying that car by Elon Musk right now in outer space. John Lowry's with us. Hey, John.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing fabulous. He's here because he's trapped in by the weather, I think. So under protest, Rick Adams is with us. Hey, Rick, welcome to the program.
Actually, my neighbor snowblowed my driveway this morning, so I could get out if I wanted to. But I decided to be here with Steve Areno.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Ben
Is that what you were instructed to say?
It's in his contract.
No yard work excuse today for you.
I expect my $20 by tonight, okay?
That's right. $20 is $20, eh? L.
Nice.
Curtis Boyle's in the house.
Is this where we auditioned for the band?
This is yes. On lead guitar, L. Curtis Boyle's here. Brian Weasler's in the house. How's it going, Brian?
Doing well. Just dug out myself this morning. So.
All right. Backup quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs, Grant Leedy's with us. Hey, Grant.
Go Chiefs.
And last but not least, the most prolific color computer software designer from Australia that happens to be on the show today. It's none other than Nick Marentes.
Good day, everyone. I'm sorry, who is that?
In the live chat, Retro Innovations was already out here trolling us before the show began. He said dumpster fires, ukuleles, floppy talk. Oh my. Ken
I think he's stranded in Denver too, by the way, someone said.
Ken Reichert is here. Mark B, Dave and Sharon are out here. Hello, Dave and Sharon. Ben Drakes is out here. Hello, Ben. Paul Fiscarelli says, yo, how you doing, Paulie? We've just been joined by Brian, the Music Man Shoebring, all the way from frozen Chicago, frozen Chicago. All right.
Making a lozenge.
And we are ready to start the show. We're going to keep on rocking 8-bit world, talking about the 6502. That's what we do here on CoCoTALK. Or was that not the 6502?
No, we talk about it disparagingly.
Yes.
Disparaging.
Leave. Please leave.
All right. So, all right. Well, thanks for showing up, everybody. Good night. All right. We got things. Actually, you know what we have? I have something to show you guys hot off the presses. We've got a brand new CoCo Thoughts by Samuel Gimes. So Samuel Gimes is a deep thinker. He's always thinking. He's thinking about things that have to do with the CoCo. So how about we kick off the show with a brand new CoCo Thoughts? Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Sure. No, but do it anyway.
All right. Now, you guys could hear the sound when I played the intro, right? So the audio is working for the panel? Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
CoCo Thoughts.
And now, CoCo Thoughts by Samuel Gimes. Some truths are self-evident, such as buzzard bait is far superior to Lancer.
Apparently some of his brain cells, too, but anyway.
Best one ever.
Hashtag Team Buzzard Bait.
So there is an ongoing debate or discussion or a series of
The
opinions.
intellectual divide has been set.
Yeah, this is like the OS 9 RS-DOS divide between Lancer and buzzard bait. But it's great that these discussions are able to happen. Ben Drakes even says Team Buzzard Bait. Okay, 6502 are good for fixing uneven table legs, etc. is what Dave and Sharon say. It's a great shim when you need it, right? So
I think the 6502 is powering the Gimes things now too. So
yeah. We should probably just go ahead and jump into news. We got a lot of news to cover. We also have should we say a plethora of Dragon games to
yeah, far more game on stuff than actual news.
Yeah, we were a little tight on time last week, or something. I don't remember, but in any case, we kept the news short last week, and so we're gonna do with our news. We're gonna do a game on segment and show off some Dragon games from around the internet. And one of the games in particular, we talked about this last week. We want to try to do some value add. So in addition to just showing you somebody else playing the game on YouTube, we're actually going to do a live playthrough of one of the games in particular that Curtis picked out that I rather liked as well. Since I don't have a fully set up Dragon, we will be playing it on XRoar, which is the Dragon emulator by Karen Anscombe. It is a very British emulator by a very British guy. So it's the next best thing to play this game on next to the Dragon itself. So we'll be playing one of those games live. So why
are we going to take a poll on how long it's going to take you to rage quit?
Well, because I've already tried the game, I think I'll do okay. I've gotten past level 1. So
you've made the high scoreboard too.
Well, so far. So, all right. So we're going to go ahead and jump into news with Curtis Boyle. I need to stop sharing so Curtis can share. So first we'll do our professional intro here. So hold on here just a second. Here we go. It's time for news with Curtis Boyle, bringing you things that you probably already knew. Take it away, Curtis. All right.
Wow,
way to sell it. Way to sell it there.
Yeah, go ahead and live up to that now.
And no pressure.
Okay. I actually don't have a lot of news this time around, but there's a bit that we didn't cover last week and a little bit that came up this week. So the first one up, let me get to my news section. David O'Connor completed his version of a composite mod for the CoCo 1, and this is from a couple weeks ago.
You know, it'd be great if he could maybe put some detail into what he did, because this looks a little sparse.
Well, I figured you were going to do a dramatic reading of it. So. Take it away, Stevie.
All right.
Throw some emotion in it.
We can do a deep
William Shatner it up.
Yeah. It's finally done.
Done.
Here's the finished version of my Coco.
Let me go grab my popcorn. I got to watch this.
I love it.
let's take this seriously, folks. Come on, this
3
is a
hours
professional show.
later.
So yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I must be on the wrong show then.
Morgan
That'll be
Freeman.
ranked right up there with Star Trek 5. That one.
Ken says get Morgan Freeman to read it.
I think Jack Nicholson would do a good job.
Yeah,
That's what I
right.
think he'd do.
All right. So what do we got? What are we talking about here? So,
Well, it's a composite mod for his CoCo 1. And it works in both the PAL and the NTSC versions, which actually seems to be producing some pretty decent output.
okay.
And he's got a lot of technical details and stuff. But some of the screenshots here.
Oh, that is pretty. That's like
that's pretty
David
darn
Ladd
good.
pretty there. Look at that. Yeah.
Yeah, for composite, yeah.
Yeah, clean. Ooh, look at the wires. Neat. So was that the proto board? Yeah, that looks good.
Yep. So the artifact colors are working.
Artifacts are good. Yeah.
There's the
our
color bar test using the
Yep.
Low-res, and then some P mode 4.
Mm.
Now, judging by the purple and ugly green here, I'm guessing that's probably PAL.
Okay.
Nick Marentes, can you verify that?
Well, that's not how it normally comes out. It's normally striped. So, yeah, I'm not too sure what he's getting there.
Okay, so it might just be a tint artifact thing,
Yeah.
maybe. But pretty readable. That's pretty decent for
That's clean. That's clean.
Yeah, for a CoCo 1.
Yeah.
So anyway, he's got the details on there if you guys want
Okay.
to check it out and maybe duplicate it. Now, you said it works on both PAL and NTSC. Which
Somebody
is a bonus.
read that in the voice of Queen Elizabeth. That would be good comedy, I think.
I can do the wave maybe, but that's about it.
All right. Cool. Thank you, David O'Connor, for sharing that highly technical. And I'm a big fan of pictures, so I like to order my food.
Well,
by
then you'll like
pictures.
this next one.
I order my brides by pictures. I order my dinner by pictures. So
I noticed you use brides plural there. So which couch are you on this week?
Your Russian is coming along really well, Stevie.
I comrade. Yes.
Anyway, Jason announced, I think 2 weeks ago, the Joey serial switch, but he was trying to show it on the air, and it was kind of a little bit awkward trying to get in the camera and stuff, and a little bit blurry. So he actually posted some, professionally done photography.
Okay.
And
Well,
Jason,
let's
did
not
you have any
stretch it
comments
that
on
far.
or any particular photo you want me to put up?
They're all good. It's really, truth be told, it's the same one, just with different colored knobs on it.
Okay. There's red. There's blue.
There's red, there's blue, there's green, there's black, yellow, and white.
Can you collect them all?
You collect them all.
If you like.
Yeah, it's like.
But this is something that it's been asked for a while, and then it came up on the mailing list recently, and I was already working on it. And
I mean, people like to order different color keys on their keyboards. And why not have that same level of choice in your Joey serial switch?
Why not? But
Why not?
the folks that want to be able to switch up to 3 items on their 4-pin serial, aka bit banger port,
Right.
that'll let you do it.
We can get a TTL, a drive wire, and an RS-232 all in 3 switches.
You make a 16 switch version for David Ladd.
16. Can they be?
I think I'm going to need a bigger box.
You're going to need a bigger knob.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Any one of those mad scientist scissor switches.
At least get the Spinal
Wheel
Tap one.
switches.
This one goes to 11. So.
Yeah, but I want to do all 3 at the same time.
Oh, you
then
want to
you're gonna-
multiplex your serial devices, huh?
Yeah.
Personally, the white one is my favorite. It's got the best contrast.
Okay.
It does. It stands out really well, I think. That's
Okay.
Kind of like David Ladd himself.
Yes.
Yes.
There you go. We're coming.
Stands out really well.
And what are
Yeah,
these
but
going to tentatively retail for?
They are retailing for $40 US plus shipping. They are available for pre-order. I'm actually working on a few right now. And if you just if you just go to cocoman.biz/JSS is where I have the pre-orders now for Joey serial switch.
Okay.
Just like it says on the Facebook post there. But
Okay.
yep, I'm actually starting to work on them like today.
Now, what has the reception been? Do people seem interested or appreciative of this? Or
I've had quite a bit of interest.
Okay.
How many lots did David buy?
None. I don't think so. I have a couple here, and then I think I have a couple folks that are going to pick theirs up at CoCo Fest and that sort of thing.
Okay.
And
neat.
I'm going to have some I'm going to have a couple that I'm going to be delivering in person in the next few weeks.
Okay.
But more on that in the coming coming weeks.
Well, so when you bring John Lowry's Joey
no, it's not John
joystick
Lowry.
switch.
That would be
Okay.
that would be easy. That would just be I could just stop by John's on the way to my brother's house or something, you know. But no, we'll see how it goes, and next month I'll be doing some personal deliveries. Yeah, I'll just tease it there because there's possibly some cool things I'll be able to show you guys here on the show in a few weeks.
Okay,
we'll see, but we'll just leave that there. We'll see. You know, tune in at about what 3 or I think it's like 3 weeks away. So we'll see.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Next up,
from Jim Brain, who's stuck in Denver right now.
Retro Innovations.
It was announced last week that he's no longer the secret manufacturer of the MIDI pack.
Yes.
It's based on the original Glenside design that Brian Schubring's been teasing us for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So he's the official guy doing it. And then he actually, after that show, he published some of the schematics here.
Okay. Ken Reichert's asking, how much money would it cost to not have them delivered personally?
Well, it would be the cost, the whatever the postage cost is for that particular area. Now this is going to be a very and it's not delivered to him either. It's not him.
Now he's so disappointed.
He can say, "I got a rock."
MIDI in, MIDI out, MIDI through. All right.
What about MIDI around?
68
MIDI over, MIDI under.
Open source hardware Tandy MIDI cartridge. Looking
Yeah,
cool.
schematics and prototype boards and everything else.
Yeah, that's neat.
And we actually do have some CoCo software that supports all three of those too. So that's cool
so
too.
This is designed to go. Right now, he's using the Game Master cartridge, injection molded cartridge, but I'm assuming you have to cut something out to get that to protrude through.
Yeah, I think he would have had to for the DIN plugs anyway, because I think they're too big to fit in the cartridge.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Okay. So that seems to go in there well.
And then he did his very first test of actually playing some stuff through it.
Okay.
Can you guys hear that?
Negative,
No.
Ghost Rider.
No.
Dream on.
Do you hear what I hear?
I have to stop the share and
Sound of
restart the
silence.
sound here just a second.
This segment is made for the hearing impaired. So, yeah.
This segment brought to you by Belltone.
Our top story tonight.
Okay,
All
let's
right,
try
here
it
we go.
again.
Here's a
Can you hear that?
test of
Unfortunately, yes, I hear Jim's voice.
the
Yes.
MIDI pack under
Okay.
development. This is a prototype unit. I just soldered up. I have
Oh, Retro's here saying he's
belt
happy to
panels
answer
for MIDI
questions.
instruments, so I have a MIDI to USB.
That would be a
adapter,
first.
and I am running MIDI aux.
Yeah, why are you such a troll?
PC
That's my
to
first
test
question.
out the
Yeah.
MIDI connection. Brian Schubring's been nice enough to provide me with his OS9 MIDI collection so that I can try it out. And so we're going to play, hopefully, XLF. Let me turn the sound off here, or the light off.
Amazing.
Turn the light off so you can hear it better. Okay, what happened?
Yeah.
The video paused.
Don't ask me. That's
Okay.
Facebook's
No,
own
that's-
business.
Traffic is coming through on the MIDI out. Yes, it is.
Okay. Okay, so the MIDI file's being played on the CoCo, and then the MIDI out of that's going to something else that's playing the music.
Yeah, the PC I think is actually he's using it as his
PC's
MIDI because he
acting
didn't have a
as a MIDI
keyboard
instrument.
handy.
Okay.
Looks like it works.
But it would work to an actual keyboard
Yeah.
too.
No,
I haven't
that's
tried
neat.
MIDI in or MIDI through yet, so I need to do some more testing. But at least
But yeah, it's working. So that's
Okay.
good,
Cool.
good
We
news.
have
uh,
And for the
MIDI
musicians
out.
out there, the D. Bruce Moores, the David O'Connors that fiddle a lot with the MIDI stuff, you got some new hardware to play with.
Speaking of David O'Connor, he looks like he just joined us. Okay, well, that's cool. That's very cool. Great work there, Jim.
Well, usually if there's a day we cover a news item of his, he's not here.
I do have one question. Has he got a price for it yet? I don't recall if he's actually specified one at this point. Or if Bruce or if Brian knows.
Yeah,
But does
he
it-
has. It was, I believe, 60 for the board. There's a lower cost for as a kit form. I think he said it was saying $5 for the bare boards, and that you have to confirm with that on what the actual final price is.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah,
he's
he just
posting
did.
right now. 60 and then 45 for kits.
And $5 for the printed circuit board by itself if you want to do everything else with your own parts.
Okay, and that does not include any type of cartridge case to go around it.
But does it have a real-time clock?
Does not
John
appear to have one
Strawn's
on
here.
there.
I imagine he could solve that for us.
Yeah, true.
Maybe
Okay.
some simulated wood grain.
No case is what he's saying there. Yeah, no case. Okay. And here we have
Okay,
our
cool.
own John Lowry.
Yeah, and you did a quick video of the Space Invaders font and CoCo VJ, which we've all seen in the editors and stuff, but he actually has it animated here. I have no idea if that's copyrighted or not.
It's not, but that's okay. You can.
It certainly fits in with the Space Invader mood. It's very Space Invader motif-ish.
And Stevie's still on the screen in the corner.
This is more of the Space Visitor, not the Space Invader music, I think.
Space Visitor. Yeah, they were over. They were nice. They were nice invaders. They were really good people.
Take us to your John Tesh.
Okay. 64 column mode. There they are. They're on the screen.
And they're all animated. They're
It's
dancing
kind of hard to
because
see
it's got such
from
nice
here.
music.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's a little bit difficult to see, but yeah,
their legs are flickering
yeah.
back and forth. Yeah. Okay.
And that's in bit from basic with string
Just
statements.
prints, right?
Yeah, just prints. Yeah.
Cool. Have you gone any further with that, or are you planning to go any further? Or was that just to kind of just test it?
I haven't gone any further with it. I may play with it some more later, but I just got that far and kind of quit. I moved on because Ed gave me the viewer.
And
I
yeah,
started
kinda got
playing with that.
distracted, did you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I'm easily distracted.
I've been holding off on my CoCo VGA stuff because I've got to open up my CoCo and resolder my sound, and that's just discouraging me because I did it once and I didn't do a good job, and now I have to face my failure. And so that's really just been putting a kibosh on me working with all my CoCo VGA related projects. So maybe this afternoon I'll work on that.
Hello,
cool.
everybody.
Hey, David.
I managed to connect onto Zoom, but I'm having some issues with my internet today, so I've got no video at the moment.
Okay.
So,
We got you.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay. Welcome. All right, Curtis, we're back to you.
Okay. Next up, the latest issue or edition of the CoCo Show is out, featuring Crystal City and Outhouse.
Okay.
And John right now is in Ireland attending Amiga Ireland too, so he was interviewing one of the people that used to work for Commodore, which actually was quite interesting earlier today.
Cool.
And Aaron's actually in our chat right now too, so I won't play the video, but if you're into those two games, or if you're into the show in general, that episode is now up. And there'll be a
Very
bit
nice.
more on them in the Game On segment too. So
Very, very cool.
next up, after Jerry Stratton. We mentioned him probably a month or two ago, I guess. He made that Rainbow Basic program pre-flight tool based on the original Rainbow Check.
Okay.
From Rainbow Magazine that kind of does a checksum as you type in lines so that you can catch mistakes as you're typing stuff in. And now he's got a pre-flight tool that helps catch other errors beyond his original Rainbow Check program, where he's got a whole description here. You can download it and try it out. But if you're into typing in basic programs from Rainbow, and if you've seen the Rainbow Check Plus, it does a little like at line 50, your checksum is this. At line 100, your checksum is this. You just type in a few lines, and then you just hit, I can't remember what key it was. It was a hotkey in the background type thing. It was like a terminate and stay resident. And it would give you whatever the checksum's supposed to be. And if you had a mismatch, you knew you had a type mistake, but only in the last few lines. You didn't have to hunt the entire code. So it's nice that he's actually updated that to run on modern machines too, so you can type your basic programs in.
Okay.
And then finally, and this was just released today, and John Laurie's been talking about it as well, there's the VG6 converter. I haven't had a chance to actually go through the video too much. So John, do you want to just kind of explain exactly what this does, and I can maybe run it in the background?
Actually, Ed just released it, and I just got it installed. I can demo it if you want.
Hi guys, I have a little.
Sure.
Are you able to screen share?
Yeah. Can I grab the screen? Is it okay if I grab it?
Curtis will need to stop sharing.
Okay. Let's see here.
Hey, Paulie.
Where's the share button? There we go. Start share. Desktop. And share. Alrighty. Okay. Let's see here. I haven't appified it yet, so there we go. When you run it, here's the application. It's imported PNG. It's got to be 128 by 96. And when you bring it in, you choose a file. It brings in 4 different versions, or it creates 4 different versions of dithered and non-dithered. And then when you choose one, like I'll choose this one here in the lower right, you got an eyedropper tool. So if you want to select a specific color, it'll grab the color over here.
Oh, wow. This is...
Yeah, it's pretty nice. And then there's a pencil tool, so if you want to edit it, you can actually edit the file and then save it out.
And then it saves it as what, a bin file that you can just load up in SG6 mode, or?
VG6 is the format.
VG6, okay.
Yeah, and then you can load it on a CoCo with the VG6 viewer, or if you write your own app to read in VG6 files. But there's a VG6 viewer, but for games and stuff like that, you could incorporate your own loader to load background screens or stuff like that.
Wow. This reminds me of the early days of looking at GIFs on a PC. It was such a cool thing just to get some images from other sources that we'd never seen on that platform before, and they were much more colorful than we were used to seeing.
Yep. You can also open up pre-existing VG6 files.
So you're running this on your Mac, right?
Right.
So the fact you can bring a CoCo image onto your Mac is pretty cool. Hey, Jim Gary's here.
These files here are in VG6. Like the converter opens the PNG files.
Uh-huh.
If you choose, you can open a pre-existing VG6, a converted file. Like here's one here, and so this is
Ladd.
So yeah, this is you can open VG, you can view pre-existing VG6s, or you can create them from PNG files.
Now, is he using the original CoCo VGA 512 color palette, or is he using the newer version of the CoCo VGA with the 15-bit color palette, which is 32,000 colors to choose from?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I would guess the latter, based on how many colors are there.
I think Ed was mentioning something about porting it to PC as well. Was he, or so it's Mac?
He said Linux at least, possibly the PC as well, because I think he's using X Windows or something in it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
You can see X-Quartz up here is what's actually running, or X11.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But I don't have a Mac, so.
That is neat.
Yep. So yeah, you can. It's a VG6 viewer and a VG6 converter, and it's just pretty nice. I had here's almost the same thing. This is just the viewer, so it's almost basically the same program. And you had the color selections before, and you could actually edit, but there was no way to save it.
Okay.
So he was almost there with this version, and then when I requested this program, or he let me know that he had this, and I asked him for a copy, and he gave it to me, and that prompted him to go back and finish it off and create the converter.
Neat.
So now we have a way to bring in, photos on your Mac at this point. Eventually, he's going to do the PC version too. So that way, if you want to, bring in pre-existing photos from the internet to, edit and modify for your games and such, you can, bring them in on your Mac or PC, convert them to VG6, and then they'll easily load.
That would be excellent for graphical adventure games, to be honest.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That way you can use modern tools like Photoshop and things like that, put together your files, and get them converted to PNG, so 128 by 96, and then you're ready to go with this VG converter program here. So it's It's a nice little program,
It is.
It's definitely very useful. So there you go.
Very cool.
And as John mentioned, Ed has said he's going to port it to at the very least Linux and probably Windows. He just has to figure out how to get around the X Windows. Making it.
Okay. Cool.
And to be honest, that's all the news I had anyway. That was my last news story. So.
Okay. Retro Innovation says, I suggest he look at the Vice emulator as they have a cross-platform UI system they use to cut down on handling all the platforms. Okay. I'm not sure about the Vice emulator. I guess that's good to know. All right. Well, that concludes news. So how about we go ahead and do our news outro then? All right. Well, that was it. That was news from around the web. Thanks to Curtis Boyle and John Lowry.
And now a Muppet News Flash.
All right. So there was our news. We've had a few people just join us too. So Paul Thayer has joined us. Welcome, Paul.
Thank you. Hi, everybody.
And John Strong has joined us too. Hey, John.
Howdy.
Hey, no helium today. That's good.
That was crazy.
All right. That was just...
John, did you get a bunch of snow in Lansing?
I'm not in Lansing anymore. I'm up by near Clare.
Oh, so yeah, you probably do have some now.
Yes, we do.
I just snowblowed my driveway this morning. So
it was blowing, and so there wasn't a lot on the part of the truck, but on the I have a cover on the bed, and so there's a snow drift going up all the way to the top of the truck. Awesome. On the bed of the truck.
So today my 16-year-old daughter had her her driving test to like be able to get her license, and it is a mixture of rain and snow. And just it was.
That's a test, all right.
Yeah, it was a test. She didn't make it past the parking portion, unfortunately. But we're gonna try again. It'll be fine. But yeah, we just thought it was funny. It's rain and snow, awesome.
Yeah, and the weather, okay. So you can at least blame it on the weather this time,
right?
As a native Floridian, I have to ask, what is this snow?
It's an illegal white powder that.
Well, have you ever had a snow cone, Stevie?
I have had snow cones. Yes.
It's like that, except it's everywhere, and you don't want to eat any of it, especially if it's a different color.
Yeah.
It's
all particularly the yellow snow, right?
Don't eat
The yellow snow is not
snow.
lemon flavored.
But it's 100% natural.
Yes.
It's
Frank Zappa flavored. It's funny John was talking about graphics today because the Rush logo behind me, I was playing with a Python script. I didn't write it. I found it. That creates graphics for the CoCo 3, converting from...
oh, Nate. David Ladd's got one that he has, too, that he's been working on.
That's Rush Limbaugh, right?
Yeah. So it takes your...
Ladies and gentlemen.
It takes your image file and creates the DSK out of it with the basic program and 4 bins. And then that basic program shows the bin file.
Okay. What's the? Can you share that with us?
Hey, Yo Gaming just sent me a 1,000 sparks on Mixer. Thanks for the sparks, Yo Gaming.
We have to have Python.
That's Rush. So Rush Space Invaders.
It is Rush, the best Canadian band ever.
Ladies and gentlemen, Space Invaders. He gets high on you.
Yes, Limbaugh. Oh. Gonna say, I think Brian Adams might have something to say about that. So he did it all for love.
Rock.
He did it all for love. So just so you know.
Not like hard rock.
Oh, I forgot he was Canadian.
Yeah,
but he was a single artist.
So
Rush
he's
was
not
a band. So,
True.
Yeah.
Rush
I was going to say the only Canadian
band,
band,
and Trooper and a bunch of others. So.
Trooper. The boys in the bright white sports car.
Raise a little hell.
Okay. We will save project and updates for the last part of the show. So if we finish the news, are we going to jump into now? Yo Gaming's asking if we're all live. Yeah, we're all live on this show. They're not streaming live to other places, but yeah.
I'm actually on tape.
Oh, that's true. Some of us might be on Memorex.
Very funny. Yes.
So are we going to go ahead and jump into the Game On segment, Curtis? Are you ready for our next portion?
We can. I'll just ask you quickly, did you want me to go through the PC 6000 stuff first and then all the game videos and then segue into your gameplay?
I think the PC 1000 stuff fits into more like news, right? Sort of. It's something that Carlos Camacho posted on Facebook this week, and I thought it was neat visually. So are you going to share that back, Curtis?
Yeah,
Curtis?
I can do that.
Okay.
Did you want the intro first, or?
No, we've you know, as Coco Man says, anything worth doing is worth overdoing, but I believe we've outdone the news intro at this point. So
well, this would be Game On. That's what.
Oh, is this Game On? Oh, I didn't
insert additional banner here.
I thought that was still going to be news. Okay.
Well, we can do that too.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's just consider it
I'll
news.
just go
Let's just
straight
run it
into
now
it.
because it's more to me. It's more news than it is gaming.
Game on.
Okay. So yeah, Carlos Camacho posted this series of photographs in Facebook, and from us. What's the system called, Curtis?
The PC 6000, I believe it's called.
And was this
Japanese system?
It's a Japanese system. It has basically the same chip as the CoCo, but it's not a CoCo. It's not running a 6809, but it's showing some screens of what a CoCo game could look like, right? Because this is basically your RP Mode 3 4-color screen, and there are a lot of really interesting images that I thought we should probably just kind of scroll through and comment on.
Yeah, I mean the PC 6000 itself, actually, depending which version of it, because there's a Mark 1, a Mark 2, etc. The later versions added extra graphics chips with far beyond CoCo 1 and 2 VDG stuff, but kept the VDG chip for backwards compatibility. So the original versions of the games would be this, P Mode 3 style screen, and then the later ones would be 16 color modes and stuff like that. So, did you want to comment them as I go through, or?
Well, yeah, let's give everybody a chance to comment on them if you want. So. I don't know what this is. A couple guys falling, and yeah, there were some that I thought were much more stunning. So I don't think this one's really comment worthy, unless anybody.
Unfortunately, I can't do much about the size here. It keeps jumping all over too. So.
Now that is kind of neat, though. This is something I don't think we saw a lot of, but P Mode 3 dithering, right? So that's basically red and yellow checkers there to come up with kind of a tan color. I can't think of too many. This looks kind of like a Tutankhamun style game.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of too.
And it's got using blue for the background, which is nice. I did that in Cosmic Aliens because I thought the green background was horrid. So it had blue background and then some dithering to give you some more colors. That's kind of cool.
In the chat, James Diffendapper's mentioning the U.S. version of that machine called the NEC Trek, and he has one.
Oh, NEC. Okay, NEC. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, cool.
That's
yeah,
another screen
the
for
same
that same game.
Yeah, it looks like a Tutankhamun style game.
Yeah, I believe there were several machines that used the 6847 that were non-Motorola chips.
Okay.
As far as that, okay. And I believe this was one of them. Am I correct, Curtis? Didn't use it? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just not used to seeing too much P Mode 3 dithering, and see, this one's a little bit bigger. You can see it better. Yeah, so you got a green and yellow dithering, and looks like a shoot.
Red
I don't
and
know
yellow?
what that is. Red and yellow, possibly. Yeah. This looks like a Wizard of War now, possibly too, right? So could be Tutankhamun or Wizard of War. It's neat looking. Yeah, there were some that were like nice little. Look at that. That is really cool. That kind of green chick on the blue background. I thought that was really neat looking.
Yeah, and the runes on the side and stuff too. Yeah,
Yeah,
that one looks quite nice.
And the kind of green and yellow. Oh Christ, make it stop. That's painful.
It hurts.
It hurts. Yeah, but yeah,
But just showing your text combinations, like what different colors on the foreground versus the background, what they look like. So
yeah.
You can pitch which one burns your retinas less.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But you couldn't shoehorn this into a CoCo though, right? The same chip.
This is the CoCo
It is the
chip.
same
It's
chip.
the 6847.
It's a 6847.
This is the CoCo chip.
It's the same chip.
But
it has more capabilities than our
No. What we're looking at right now are basically P Mode 3 screens, but we're seeing imagery that should inspire. Hopefully inspire people to do something.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
it's got a black border, so I don't know if that's taken from an emulator or from the real hardware.
Yeah.
Because that would have on a CoCo would have a green or white.
Or you might have just
border.
screenshotted the main part of the screen and skipped the border entirely.
Yeah. So we're seeing a black border, which we don't normally.
Right. That's kind of a showstopper when you have all that puke green wrapped around all that stuff. But I like what they're taking, the same 4 colors that we typically are not fond of because they're just horrible colors for most games. And they're taking that limitation, those locked in colors, and using them in creative ways. And I'm seeing imagery here that I don't know we've seen too much on the CoCo. So I like it. I like that they're using a blue background, and the kind of green and yellow are nice contrasts as foreground colors against that. And then the yellow on the bottom there for some of that status, it kind of works, you know?
Yeah.
Okay,
Isn't that awesome
semi-graphics. Yeah, that's your semi-graphics there. Yeah, here's some cool semi-graphic stuff, right? So this looks like SG4, just about, right?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Yeah, okay. This shows you what you can do. Now this is, so this is the basically P Mode 4 alternate color set that's still semi-artifact, right? So,
yeah.
And this almost looks like a low-res, high-res hybrid mode here, unless they're just crappy graphics.
No, it's just P Mode 4. It's just 2-color green and.
Yeah. All right. This one's not as impressive, but whatever. Okay.
Yeah, it looks kind of like an Ultima style.
Yeah.
Game, I'm guessing.
Yeah. All right. Well, is that a Dragon Kong or what the hell's going on there? Yeah. So this is. I don't know what that thing is, a fire-breathing dragon or a toad, or I don't know. That one kind of hurts my eyes. So.
Yeah. No, it does have all 7 platforms, unlike most 8-bit versions
right.
of Donkey Kong.
Oh,
so
I see that. And
it's got that going for it.
Wow. Yay.
What are the 7?
Little one up here.
The
at the very
7th.
top.
Oh, I thought you meant levels. Yeah, okay.
Okay, now that's kind of cool. You see how they have like the red and yellow checkers there for that crab-looking thing? You know, so the whole idea of dithering, I don't think was really exploited too much. James Different After said that one was called Ugly Kong. Oh, and James says also this was the machine that Steve Bjork says it was so slow he couldn't implement the magnifier on Megabug on that machine.
That's right. Datasoft did do some official ports to the PC6000.
Did that have a Z80 CPU?
I think so. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, this is cool. This is cool. And obviously some of these are because it's a Japanese system, you can see the kind of Japanese influence in some of the characters.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's cool. This looks kind of like a bubble bobble type looking thing. No, that's neat. Yeah. So hopefully this will spark some. Here's your characters, right? Kiro, Bio, Gucha, Gucha. Yeah, neat.
And Steve.
Yes. And now that's just, I don't know what the hell that is, but it's too small to see. I like some of the portrait ones. Okay, now that's whatever. We've seen better. Now that's cool. P Mode 4 Space Invaders. I think we've got one, right? Don't we have a P Mode 4 Space Invaders?
Yeah, this looks like Space Raiders from Mark Data Products, actually, to me.
All right.
Pretty close to it.
It looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks spot on, actually. It's got the correct number of rows and characters per row.
Okay. Oh, now that's interesting. This is the Puyan palette. And what is this, like ice tennis?
I used to call it the Puyan palette, but
it's like curling.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Curling.
It's hard. Okay, now here's an odd semi-graphics concoction. Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure this one is SG4, but this might be SG6. This one.
Okay. Hard to tell. It looks like their fonts. There could be like their character set might be a little bit different. Is that possible?
Oh yeah, yeah. You could tie in an external ROM. That's what the lower kit from Dennis Kits and other things were selling back in the day. So.
All right.
A golf game.
Yeah. Okay. Is that what that is? Because they're so small, it's hard to see.
Yeah.
Right.
Unfortunately, I can't zoom up.
Isn't that kind of what CoCo VGA does with the the only difference is they give you the ability to upload the whatever font you want.
Yeah. Software control.
Yeah.
Well, CoCo VGA lets you control the border color too, so that ugly green border or white border you can get rid of if you don't want them.
Yeah. Okay.
Change it to black.
Golfing. Yeah. Hopefully these will inspire somebody to do something on their CoCo. I think these are really cool images. They really show what we can do on that crappy P Mode 3 screen. Oh, that's cool. That definitely looks like, I've seen games like this on MAME.
That's Bomb Jack right there.
Bomb Jack, is that what that is?
Yep.
It even says it on the screen there, Bomb Jack, yeah.
Oh, duh.
Yeah.
Missed that.
Yeah. Yeah, that looks cool. Again, the blue background is a way to soften the eyesore of all
Soften
the
the
nuclear
glow.
green, you know?
Yeah. And blue makes sense because, I mean, that's sky color, so you can use it as a background
Yeah.
pretty readily.
Sun. Yeah, these are really cool looking screens. Capcom. It's a Capcom game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's official port.
Yeah, neat.
I think that's the game itself.
And what system was this from?
This looks like Mario Brothers.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is the PC 6001, also known as, what did Jim say it was? Or James? Neck Trek in the States.
Okay, so here we're getting some technical feedback here from James. It's different after he said, since the Z80 and the 6847 shared the same bus, the CPU had a lot of additional wait states. The Z80 couldn't alternate cycles the same as the 6502 and 680X series. So,
You're being very Australian and Canadian friendly there, Steve. You're
ZX,
saying
yeah.
the Z80?
Z80, yes, yeah.
Well, the civilized world pronounces it Z.
Yes,
so,
yes. I'm learning.
So that's the reason why the system with the 6800 was so sweet. Is basically the screen updated, in between the processor cycles, and so the video display did not slow down the processor at all. And so, like what he's saying, the Z80 or the Z80, then it has to wait. For contention to access that bus while it's writing things. Essentially, all the time the display is running on the CoCo, and like machines, you can write to that memory and read from the memory. And so on the Z80, since it couldn't do that interleave, it eventually, probably take away about half of your cycle times, would be my guess.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds similar to what Ed Snyder's doing with the Gimme X too. I mean, we also do the dynamic RAM refresh, which is Sam does in the background, alternating with the CPU and video and stuff. And he's actually got it kind of eliminating that because we're using static RAM on the upgrades now.
Yeah, and it's probably just how they designed that system too. I don't think that's a limitation of the Z80 itself. It might just be that system design. Because here we have James Differendaffer saying other Z80 machines used a separate block of video RAM, so they only had wait states when the Z80 accesses video RAM during display updates. So yeah, I don't think this was an issue on even like the TRS-80 Model 1. I don't know that they had wait states to write to display.
It's the chipset that you're using with it to do, okay? And if you're using the 6847 and the way the clocks are clocked on the 6800, we're running at 2 megahertz, approximately if you're running the faster speed, okay? But you actually got singles going in there for at about 4 megahertz into it. So you have the E and the Q clocks, and so they're staggered clocks, and the Z80 clock system is differently. And so it makes it harder to use this particular chip. It's not the Z80 can't do things competitively. It's just with this chip design and their clock design creates the conflict.
Okay.
It sounds to me like basically the Z80 stuff, basically you had to have dedicated video RAM to avoid this issue. Whereas
okay, so that is a CPU limitation.
If I'm understanding that right, I'm not
okay.
Sure.
Right.
Nick, Randy, since you've actually programmed the Model 1 Z80 and stuff here, do you have any input on that?
Not sure, but I do remember on the Model 1, the Z80 always had priority over the video circuitry in the Model 1, the TRS-80 Model 1. And because of that, you got a lot of glitches on the screen. So when you did a lot of updates on the screen, you would see little black
kind of like the snowing effect and stuff.
Yeah,
right, yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty well known on the Model 1. And they fixed it on the Model, I don't know if it was the Model 3 or the Model 4. They added the wait states in there.
Okay.
Yeah, on the wiki page for this computer, it says the 6847. It refers to it as a coprocessor. Strangely enough.
Okay. This looks like a load runner type game here, right?
Yep.
That's
Straight P mode for
monochrome,
2-color.
no artifact. Yeah. Okay, another Mario Brothers. Okay.
Yeah, this one the palette isn't quite as good though. I think the other one looked better. Green Mario just kind of glares out a bit too much.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Luigi.
Yeah. Yeah. The Mario. Yeah. So at least that's on a blue background there. Okay.
Now here you can see they're doing some tricks where they're actually mixing the modes, like the
yes.
APF Imagination Machine did.
Yes, and that's also what that's Dragonfire's claim to fame, right? Switching the 2 color sets and different scan lines.
Yeah.
So this one's called Excite Fishing. Yes, because every time I've gone fishing, it's been exciting.
I like how all the fancy CPU tricks they do in the lamest games.
Yeah, right.
Dragonfire.
I want extreme fishing.
Extreme fishing. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, extreme fishing is where you just throw dynamite in the lake and be done with it.
Sunday.
Okay, that's cool. So that's the whole. Now, in order to be able to change the color modes at different scan lines, what is that what you need the SAM for? I forgot what it was that allowed you to do that.
The APF Imagination Machine lets you do that too, and it didn't have a SAM, so I don't think it's necessary.
All right.
You just have to keep track of if you got a count of the horizontal interrupts.
Now this is cool.
Be able to change them.
This is like a Street Fighter game in semi-graphics mode. You got
with pretty decently drawn.
Looks like Ryu throwing a fireball at a guy over here. That is really cool looking.
Yeah. Even the belt shows up pretty good on it.
Yeah, I'd like to see that, like a video of that. Yes.
High Retro Game Lord has been doing videos of all these. So
okay, so this is like a Burger Time.
Yep.
And that's an interesting use of that color set. Okay.
That one actually works. I mean, buns and stuff are kind of yellowish.
The buns are yellowish and
lettuce is green.
Lettuce,
that color set actually works pretty good.
And that could be the red patty. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of cool. All right, nothing special here. Nothing to see here. Move it along. Okay, so here's some of the sprites. Zooming in on the sprites. So here's a little penguin dude. He looks kind of cool.
Yeah, kind of like a penguin thing.
Yeah, pretty large. Yeah, okay, semi-graphic Space Invaders. This kind of looks like what Nick Marentes did in his 4K challenge.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. His 4K challenge.
Yeah, but look at that. Look how that bottom line of text. The font is different, and they've taken away the banding at above and below it, like semi-graphic style. So it's not like an 8x12 character thing. It's like an 8x8. You know. So I don't know if that's a semi-graphics
Yeah, the color
trick.
kit did that too, because the standard CoCo ones actually had quite a bit of green space in the top, bottom, left, right of the characters.
Yeah.
And the lower kit that Dennis Kits originally sold actually made bigger characters too.
Right.
Like several pixels taller, several pixels wider, which gave you a lot better looking text. And that's kind of what they've done here. But that was actually a well-known thing on the VDG. You could just wire it in. In fact, you could flip a switch and switch between the standard one built in and the external.
Okay.
And of course, then with the CoCo VJ, you can just software load it.
There you go. There's your little UFO flying by. All right.
There's your double invaders.
Double invaders. But wait, there's more. No, I like the fonts. The fonts are cool. Yeah, that's neat. Galaxy Wars. Look at that.
And there you can see, if you take a look at the ×3 on the right-hand side there, the fact that the graphics is 3 pixels high. This is using SG6.
Okay.
So the 64x48 low-res mode.
Okay. Gotcha. Yep.
And the Japanese character set, of course, too.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. And can anybody read that?
Yeah, I can't pronounce it, though, so I can't tell you what it says.
Looks like Baria.
Okay, my car. Okay, so here's our checkpoints. Or there's a rock. Look out for that rock, right? That's cool. That is really cool. And the red looks a little off, so I don't know if that's just how the
there's a few of these screenshots where some of the colors look a bit washed out. I don't know if there was a certain emulator setting, maybe composite versus RGB or something.
But see, that title screen is just really cool. It's very striking. And here you can see the green border, and yeah, that's neat. It's a great use of limited palette and limited resolution, you know?
Yep.
Okay, semi-graphics. That's cool. That just gave me an idea for a game. Okay, now this looks like it's got scan lines put into it, but nothing major going on with the colors. Although they're dithering the blue and green, which is interesting. It makes it look like a lighter blue. Nothing terribly special here, but it's kind of cool.
Yep.
Okay, now that's cool. That's you got some interesting effects going on there.
That's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, City Pond. So you got some red and blue dithering. So you got some like some.
You got
brown.
vertical stripe dithering. You've got
Yeah.
crosshatch dithering.
Some
a
brown.
couple different dithering techniques.
Yeah. I'm glad you pulled this up. I'm glad we're kind of looking at these. These are neat.
You got rivers of blood.
Rivers of blood. Yes.
Cheerful.
Cheerful.
Yeah, at the city pond, I can just
The
imagine
city
what
pond,
happened
right?
there.
Oh man. Now that's kind of cool. Now look what they did
position
there. The
style.
sky is a different. So you have the green and green and blue, dithering for the sky color. Get your blue mountains. Honestly, that green for the bottom half of the screen doesn't look horrible, right? So
Slightly less horrible than normal, at least.
Yeah. So interesting. Now that's cool. See, that looks kind of purplish, right? When you got the red and blue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, this type of technique of getting kind of the fake dithering colors. Actually, I've seen that more in Dragon games than we ever saw on the CoCo side of the
Yeah,
pond. I
it
think because we
kinda-
had the artifacting mode that
They had to, yeah.
Yeah.
everybody favored here because they wanted that black background.
Yeah, but
So
it kind of
they're innovative with it.
tricks the eye into thinking it's seeing more that's there. Okay, now we've just gone full circle there. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I'm glad Carlos posted those. I think that's just kind of neat. It does, and hopefully it's going to spark some. And for me, the one thing, because I'm not going to be getting into a P Mode 3 graphics game anytime soon, but seeing that that semi-graphics like depth charge looking thing, that would be a fun little project to throw together on the CoCo VGA. You know, design a ship and design some bombs and make a depth charge. And that'd be, I'm already halfway there with my bomb, my Kabam thing. I've already got falling bombs images I've already drawn. But, you know, do a ship, move a ship back and forth and do the depth charge thing. Get some ideas there. So that's kind of cool. Very, very cool. All right, how about we do this? How about we'll take a commercial break. We'll come back into our Game On segment, and we'll be back after this, and then we'll still get the project updates, acquisitions, any other type of discussion topics we want to get into. The day is young, and so are we. So we'll be back after these words.
Hi everybody, this is Siri, Apple's personal assistant and beatbox professional. You're watching CoCoTALK with the original gamer, Stevie Stroh.
You're off, Siri. I was here first.
We'll return after these announcements.
What's going on, everybody? Stevie Stroh, and I want to say thank you for continuing to watch and listen to CoCoTALK. We love doing this show. We think we've put together a pretty good show for you, but this show could be better with your help. So if you would like to send a feedback, a comment, a suggestion, a show topic, or maybe even your own little segment or bumper, then send it to us via email to cocotalk@cocotalk.live. This show would be nothing without you. Love to hear from you.
This is Ken Reichert, author of Nightmare Highway.
Nightmare Highway.
And you're experiencing CoCoTALK?
As you start your journey to CoCo Fest, you notice the road ahead is littered with rogue furniture. You realize you are driving on the Nightmare Highway.
Nightmare Highway.
The game for the Tandy Color Computer 1, 2, and 3. Nightmare Highway.
Nightmare Highway.
Stunning low-resolution visuals. Digital to analog converted sound. 100% machine language and basic. What are they saying about Nightmare Highway?
Nightmare Highway.
Steve B. York says, of all the games released this year, this is one of them. L. Kurt S. Boyle says, this will not be on my site. Nick Marionette says, crikey, look at the size of that croc. Get your complimentary copy of Nightmare Highway.
Nightmare Highway.
At cancanmakeit.com. If you got it for free, you paid too much.
Hey there, it's Andrew here with the Tandy Speech and Sound cartridge that I won from CoCoTALK Live. So next time, make sure to tune in. It may change your life.
Radio Shack TRS-80 put the world of color computing into your home. Instant loading program packs turn any color TV into an exciting game arcade. And there's more. The color computer is an educational aid, a home management tool, an up-to-the-minute electronic information service. The programmable, expandable TRS-80 color computer from $399 only at Radio Shack, the biggest name in little computers.
Greetings, YouTubers. Atari Leaf here, and you're listening to CoCoTALK.
Radio Shack has a great gift idea for the whole family. Fast action TV games, and they're on sale. Get this 6-game model for $29.95 or the 4-game model for $21.95. With rising entertainment cost, that's a real bargain. You play hockey, tennis, squash, and more. Easy to hook up and great family fun that lasts all year long. The sale price TV games. Only at Radio Shack, a Tandy company.
We now return you to CoCoTALK.
And we're back. And for what you paid for this show, it's a real value.
All the ball and stick games you can imagine.
All the ball and stick games.
Wow.
Fast action TV games too. Don't accept that lesser quality slow action TV games. Only settle for the fast action ones. So, rising entertainment costs, it is a real value. There are 26 people on YouTube watching us live right now, and to each and every one of you, I'd like to say we're sorry. Thanks for being here with us on a Saturday. We got more things to share. We're now going to share some gaming stuff in a segment that we like to call Game On.
Game On.
And because this is a professional
Game on.
show, we have a professional intro for that. So let's go ahead and cue that intro right now. All right, everybody, it's time for Game On, the segment where we talk about game stuff. L. Curtis Boyle is going to share with us some videos from around the web and a special live preview of the Dragon game this week, too. All right, L. Curtis Boyle.
And just to let everybody know, now is when the professionalism officially stops.
I was going to say, that reminded me of the phrase lipstick on a pig for some reason.
Wow. Hey, listen, leave my high school prom date out of this, okay?
On fire here tonight.
Oh.
No comment.
The poor pig. Anyway. First up, we've got
now
some...
I'm thinking of Deliverance. Okay, go ahead.
First up, we have some Jim Gary stuff. He was actually busy this last little while. So the first one here is a port of the game Goblin from Compute Magazine, which was ported from the VIC-20 version. This first version he's got here is for the 20K upgraded MC10 or the MC8, the 128K one if John can get his working.
I love the sound chip and how he takes advantage of it.
Jim has a special version of the MC10 with a massive sound chip.
Now, is this a chomping mouth, I take it?
I didn't actually have time to actually go through all these too closely, so I was hoping maybe some of
He's looking
people
like a chomping mouth, and he's looking like he's trying to eat the O's. Yes, and so the greater than equal sign is munching O's.
I do like the fact that Jim comes up with these innovative ways of flipping text characters to do animation. He's done that on a few games now that have been pretty impressive.
Yeah.
It almost looks high-res. And then, not to be outdone, he decided to actually make a stripped-down version of it that actually runs in the 4K MC10.
There's one hand tied behind my back. I will make this game.
One hand tied behind your back's the MC10, and then with 4K, maybe it's two hands behind your back. You're typing with your teeth or your nose or something.
See, this one doesn't have the sound routine running in the background, so that's where we lost the memory. All the digital samples that were FIRQ driven.
It does have actual timer built into 6803, so actually it's more capable of doing that than CoCo 1 and 2 is. Unfortunately, it only had 1-bit sound.
Yeah, that's it.
Anyway, yeah, you crank that sucker down to 4K.
Neat.
Like it.
And then, because he wasn't busy enough, he decided to do a update to his Time Travelers game, which is originally from the third Rainbow Book of Adventures, to run on a 20K MC10. His original port of it required the MCX 128, so you needed more than 20K, but now he's cranked that down to fit within the 20K for those people that have the 20K official upgrade from Tandy. And he also added in word wrap, because before I guess it would just run the words over top of the next line and kind of break them apart. He actually has the presentation a little bit better now too. So it's a text adventure game style of game.
Okay.
And then just today he released the Nightmare Park game.
Nightmare Park.
Which is ported from the Commodore PET, a computer even older than the CoCo.
Wow.
In fact, you look at the copyright date there, May 14th, 1980. That's actually from before the CoCo one was even released.
Nightmare Park.
Quite have the same ring, does it?
I have no idea what this game's about because, like you said, he just released this today.
He's been smitten by zigzaggers. Oh, wow. It's a mini game. It's got all kinds of... Surrounded by blabbers. That's this show.
Yeah, whoever's in the center square there, you're surrounded by blabbers.
Claims another victim. Nightmare Park.
I guess you have to escape from this Nightmare Park, and then you encounter all kinds of
Park.
But it looks like it has a couple of mini games kind of built into it that might be an interesting one to try.
The more you move around, the more asterisks you get. Escaped. Okay. Okay. Neat. Good on you, Jim.
And then as a kind of companion piece to the official CoCo show where they did the reviews of Outhouse and Crystal City, Aaron actually played through Crystal City. And this was kind of heartbreaking for me to watch because his very first playthrough on level 1, he got to the first boss. And you can tell by the sound of the pitch that the alien makes as it's flying around, depending on how many hits you've got on it, how close it is you are to killing him. And he was so close. He was probably within like 20 shots.
Wow.
And then he died.
Ah.
So I won't play the whole thing here through, but yeah, he plays around. You can start on different levels, so he shows a couple of different levels, but more of an involved gameplay than they did on the actual show. So check that out on YouTube. This next batch is 2 weeks worth of Pets Ask Jim 1 Dragon gameplay videos. There's a few adventure games in here I threw in just because they had something a little bit different than the average adventure game. But generally, I don't play a lot of those because there's a ton of them on the Dragon, just like there was in the CoCo, and they all look the same. So, entertainment value-wise on the show, it's not really that high. But we'll run through some of these here.
Is this Bonnie Raitt Total Eclipse?
No, that's Bonnie Tyler.
Bonnie Tyler, yes, okay. Bonnie Tyler, yeah.
Bonnie Raitt's the blues slide player.
Okay.
Yeah. So this one's called Total Eclipse. I think for best results is turn down the color on your television set.
Turn down the color. This game contains too much color.
More color than you can handle.
Blind you with color. Oh my God, the color's killing me, man. The blacks and the whites. Oh, make it stop.
Some seriously saturated black there, isn't it?
Yes,
Look at that color.
Oh, man.
Now, he didn't get this game fully working, but I mean, there's enough screens here to kind of give you an idea. It's kind of a strategy space trading game type thing. But a nice graphical
James
font.
Deppendapper says may induce seizures.
Didn't they use the VDG for epilepsy research? I can't remember, but
you may have caused epilepsy.
Is that what Fedor? Is that Fedor that did that?
Do you require a faster game? Yes, more speed.
Get the need.
Yeah,
and then get a better computer.
More speed.
This one here is called Trace Racer. Now, there's two videos for it because there's actually two versions of the game. There's a single-player game and a two-player game. This first one up is a single-player. Now, this is kind of based on like the Tron Light Cycle style game. A little bit of digitized sound.
What the hell's going
I think
on?
it sneezed.
Good gameplay, eh? Wasn't that awesome?
Your time that run was 0.46 seconds. It was so good, I didn't see it.
Yeah. I'm playing this specifically because it'll make Stevie feel better, because this guy is lasting even less than Stevie does.
What the hell's going on here? Oh, is he like
He's
killing
still trying to
himself?
figure out the controls, unfortunately.
Okay. All right.
He's a raw recorder on YouTube. He just throws the game in, never seen it before, and away he goes.
Yeah.
No editing, huh?
Nope, none at all. So wait, that's the one-player version of it.
Okay.
And then there's a two-player version of it as well, which, if I remember correctly, actually kind of got playing a little bit better.
Trace Racers. Okay, I get it.
Yeah. This one, this time it actually showed the title screen too. So,
do you require a faster game?
It does have pretty
Giving
decent
my
sound.
ears a seizure.
Is that still too loud here? It's really dead quiet in my headphones, so it's hard to tell.
Okay, he hit the wall again.
Yep. He's got that move down pat.
Yeah. That whole hitting the wall thing. All right. I'm going to say that this game pretty much blows.
I'm not sure if it's that or the player.
Okay, no.
I would have said sucks, but I could see your point too.
Don't hold that. Tell us what you really think.
All depends on the direction of the airflow, I guess, right? So...
or the hemisphere you live in.
Yeah. This game here is called Triplet, and it's kind of loosely based on Mastermind, and actually has 3 mini sub-games within it. So I thought that was a rather interesting take on the Mastermind thing. For those of you who've played Nick Morandi's Gate Crasher, the door unlocking mechanism is basically a mini version of Mastermind as well.
I love how they get those SpongeBob icons down there on the dragon.
Yeah.
Do you wish to see instructions? Who's tuning their guitar right now?
Oh, I didn't know you could hear that. My apologies.
That's okay. It sounded good. Had a nice little twang to it. Sounded better than the Tron game.
Wow.
Boom, boom.
All right. When do we get to the part where this doesn't suck? Or is it?
I believe it's called the end credits.
I was going to say that.
Beavis and Butthead watch video games.
But like this just kind of shows what games were like at the early days, just like on the CoCo. I mean, people were desperate for software, so people just threw stuff out.
Okay.
Like literally vomited it?
Trial of Arnold.
Yeah, probably.
Arnold. It's not a
Get
tumor.
to the chopper.
It's not a tumor.
So this is another text
Blackwood.
adventure game, but they did it in P mode 4 with a high res, font, so it actually looks pretty decent.
Everybody
that
always
does
wants
look good.
play advice.
Our
Blah, blah, blah,
suggestions are
instructions.
don't die. Ooh.
Music.
Well, it had lowercase, so that's why he did that.
Okay.
It's nicely presented. I mean, it circles the parts that are kind of key to let you know
Start
where
off in
things
the
are.
crapper, apparently.
An outhouse location.
Yeah, after you finish playing Outhouse, then you switch over to this game
This
to
is
pick it up where you
Outhouse
left
the
off.
Text Adventure.
Toilet paper.
Stick toilet paper in shoe.
Take a lighter. Light the toilet paper.
Strawberry.
There you go, Aaron. Here's the
blow
sequel
up
for
the
you.
crapper. It'll take off like a rocket for all that methane gas in there. Play again. No, thank you. Put me out of my misery.
Again?
Here's another text adventure game in P mode 4 that's well presented.
Oh, now that is cool.
Purple Ogre.
That's cool.
Of Christ.
Under beings of Croth or Croth. Ooh, now look at this font. That's a cool looking font.
Yeah, upper lowercase, and he's got this nice little outline to make it look,
like a torn
piece of
page or
parchment
something.
paper, so,
Yeah.
Sounds kind of like an original music score. That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm in a large iron cage. There's a trapdoor in the top of the cage. I can't see anything useful. Sleep.
Kind of reminds you being on CoCoTALK, doesn't it?
Yes. I'm in a cage, so let's just curl up and take a nap. Rest. I don't know how to rest. This is cool though. Seeing a text
Yeah, it's a nicely
adventure that
presented
looks
one.
like
That's
it's
one thing I think the Dragon did more than we did is the standard text adventure games. They did spice a few of them up
yeah,
with these.
it's not just your normal black
Yeah.
and green text.
Now we had the good graphical ones like the Mark Data ones, Sands of Egypt, that kind of thing. But they took the text adventure, I think, a bit further than we did.
North. I can't go that way.
A cage can't go.
This is like
anywhere.
trying to escape from CoCoTALK. It really is. It's.
I guess he is a cage. Can't go anywhere.
I want to break my rusty cage and run.
Maybe that's what he needs to try to do is type in "break rusty cage."
I'm gonna lie.
Oh, it's very rusty.
It is rusty. It is a rusty cage.
It is rusty. Kick trapdoor.
Break your rusty cage and run.
That's it.
Yeah.
I don't
Anyway,
see any
you get the
useful
idea.
exits. Okay, punch. Punch trapdoor. Damn you! Damn you!
Punch the trap.
You ever heard the Johnny Cash version of Rusty Cage?
Oh, I love
Face
it. Yeah,
palm. Yeah, it's great.
Love that. Yeah.
Next one up here is called Up Periscope, which is a cool-looking basic war strategy game that actually featured multiple map screens. So I think it's kind of like Risk, except it has actual multiple screens. And we used a lower P mode so we could actually fit them all in memory one, so it doesn't have to redraw everything every time.
Up
So you can
Periscope.
instantly switch.
By Ron Patkin.
Not Kelsey Grammer.
Right. That's down Periscope.
Forward a bit here. So there you can switch between your different screens, and it does the sort of hex
And
like
that's
the old
the
Avalon Hill
little
games
hex
did.
thing. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I mean, I know a lot of the CoCo programs we used to do page flipping between the two screens and stuff, but not too many actually did it. So you had separate maps that you could just instantly jump to.
Yeah. No, that's clever.
So I thought that was kind of a neat way to do it. And in basic, it actually plays at a pretty decent clip because this type of game doesn't need fast action.
Yeah.
Right, not to page flip. Huh?
Yeah.
Page flip, action.
Virgin Games. Where's David Ladden? You need him. All right.
I hear he's engaged with his games.
Oh, thank you, Brian, for the dramatic effect.
We're virgin on ridiculous.
Yeah. This one here is called UXB. I labeled this as a weird bomb defusing game. So I think this one I actually did take a little bit of a look at before. Let's see here.
Oh my goodness.
Exciting, isn't it?
UXB. Hello. What is your name?
Now, this is another thing I've noticed is that the Dragon people tended to use that orange-red color set for text more often, I think, than we did too. Maybe it showed up better. I don't know on PAL.
Well, when it came to text, you had your choice. You can have any color you want as long as it was green or orange.
Yeah.
That's what I call the color script set color set.
Yes.
Yeah.
You've been foolish enough to volunteer. Okay. Which is what all
Much
of us are
like
doing
this
when
show.
you're on this show. Yeah. So the tools you have chosen are. You may now choose to see the menu again or start to work on the bomb. The suspense is killing me.
So will the bomb.
Move bomb, unscrew. Oh my lord, this is like color file or personal finance or something at this point. It's just like
advertise.
Oh, can you please help me balance this checkbook? Yeah.
We're having a
Can you
blast
hear
with a new
anything?
math tutor.
Yeah.
Scripts it.
And there he died.
Okay. And
it has some low res graphics.
Okay.
It was just like I said, it's a weird bomb defusing game. It was kind of strange.
Okay.
Now this one I think we might have shown a long time ago, but for people that have not seen some of the way old stuff.
Ugh.
That's the description of the sound routine, I think.
Okay. Oh wow. Oh, is this the one where the guy you have to manhandle the cave women?
Nope, that's BC Bill. This is a different game.
Okay.
This one you have to gather, I think, plants or something, and then take them between.
I don't think I've ever seen this. So you have to avoid the pterodactyl dropping things on you. You got to pick something up and then bring it back to that location.
Yeah, I think there's the stuff on the top there where the yellow flowers are. Where you have to bring those down or something like that. I haven't I did try playing this years ago when I first found the dragon version of it.
It kind of reminds me a little bit. The path you have to follow kind of reminds me of Crystal Castles, right? You have that kind of fixed path. It's very kind of isometric. No, that's neat. Pterodactyl. Yeah.
Yep.
I've never seen that game before.
I love that pronunciation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the name Ugg makes much more sense now that I see the character.
Yeah. Or is describing that sound routine in the beginning there, blaring it.
Or all of them.
Oh, Al Hartman says you're stealing eggs from a nest. So you're stealing eggs from the pterodactyl.
Oh, okay.
Like Hitchhiker's Guide.
I still love the way you pronounce pterodactyl.
I love pterodactyl.
This one here is called Two-Way Army, which is a scramble clone. And obviously the guy's a fan of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy because every single one of these names is from the book series.
Nice.
Is this an Alan Huffman game?
Rainbow Software.
Yeah, they've done a couple of pretty good games.
1 and 2 players.
Player
one. Oh, I like it. Digitized voice. Player 1. Use the Force, Luke. Very Alec Guinness.
Yes, Ken. J-Fod's just this guy, you know.
Okay.
Go up or down?
I think you can. I think this guy was still trying to figure out the emulator and stuff, but...
Okay, now you got the whole, the mandatory cave interior of all Scramble clones.
Yeah, I do like the fact that I digitized speech, though. That was pretty cool.
And it's digitized British accents.
Yeah.
I haven't heard very many
Which is
of
even
those.
better,
British speech.
Player 2.
It sounds more official.
Player 2.
Right.
It's not wimpy like that Aussie accent.
Oh, hey, we have mode change. Mode change.
Yeah, had palette, screen mode, flicker. Player 1, go.
Blimey.
Oh no, a bloody
This is a good one.
You have died.
Terribly sorry about that.
Terribly sorry.
Good cheerio. And...
Yeah, very scrambly. Very scrambly.
That's a decent clone. Actually, that's the second scramble for the dragon that we never had on the CoCo. Plus, we had 3 or 4 on the CoCo. So there's.
Oh, see now he's
learned
how to
how to
figure out the
shoot
fire
forward.
button.
Good. That was probably important.
It's like watching Stevie play new games without instructions. It's pretty well the same experience. Oh, you can do that.
Pew, 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 pew.
Next one up is called Trivial Car Crosswords.
Oh, that sounds riveting. 26
the
down.
guy thinks the same thing because he's just rifling through those intro screens.
Which block do you wish to load?
Oh, load block
you
2.
had on the tape, you had different versions of the data to load for the game, so you could pick which sub-game you wanted to use.
So did you need a companion to use this? Or is everything you need on screen?
No, everything's on screen. It's just that you could choose what part to load from the tape, because you load the program first, and then you'd have like 15 games worth of data after, and you pick which game, and then it would go load that portion in.
Oh, see, there's different puzzles.
Yeah. But for a crosswords game, it's actually pretty well presented, I thought.
Well, where are the words?
Impediment that could make you blush. Being on CoCoTALK would be my answer, but I don't think it fits.
Oh, that's a good answer.
Yeah.
Good answer.
I'd like to buy a vowel, please.
Survey says.
I would like to buy language lessons, please.
Yeah, that's it. All right.
Anyway, interesting presentation. It's a basic
It is.
game,
No,
so.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Vulcan Knots and Crosses. This is basically Connect 4 with 4 levels. And I won't play too much because it's pretty boring to watch. But basically, it's like a 4D tic-tac or 3D tic-tac-toe that you've probably seen. So the one on the far left is plane 1, plane 2, plane 3. So you specify your coordinates using X, Y, Z, Z. And basically try to line up 4 in a row versus your opponent. But it's just a low res game, and there's not too much to see here. So I just wanted to quickly show that.
All right.
This one here is called White Barrels, which is kind of a Hunt the Wumpus style game in BASIC.
Oh, nice little title screen there. Hey, Strick Yak has joined us. How are you, Strick? White Barrows. It's to trap an evil sorcerer and return to the magic chalice. That almost sounds like Forest of Doom. A dragon is close. A serpent hisses. Wow.
It's got a very close resemblance to Forest of Doom, actually. That screen, too.
Yeah. And it says you're in chamber 41, tunnels lead to 15, 18, 21, 24. And then you got the little arrows highlighting which key does what. So C is create wall, M is move, V is view, S for seed plan.
Cool.
R is rage quit.
A red dragon is about to attack.
Stun it. He chooses to transport
magic. Do you
I
have
guess
to...
a number would be more appropriate? But...
Maybe. Okay.
So then
I thought he was trying for another word that starts with F.
Yeah,
for a minute.
right. The dwarf with the sword is destroyed. Woohoo! Magic used, 200 units magic. A serpent hisses.
So it has these hints. If one of your connecting chambers has an opponent in it, it'll hiss or whatever, type thing, which is very much like Wumpus. You can smell a Wumpus nearby. But there's multiple monsters, and then there's added these spells and some other things too. So it's kind of like Wumpus Deluxe.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of cool.
Okay.
Now this is one I'd never seen before.
Revenge.
When I first saw Willie's Revenge, I thought it was a kind of a dragon version of Willie and Company or whatever the one by Intricolor was, but nope.
Like Willie's Warehouse or something?
Yeah.
Willie's Revenge. Red Devil, Yellow Peril.
With
Percy
scrolling.
Pack, SS Zapper. Happy Apple. Evil Awful. Red Devil. That's Percy Pack, SS Zapper.
Now we're repeating.
Mad Mushrooms. Yeah, okay. Okay, so you are...
So it's a snake bite style.
And you just have to pick things up? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And depending on what you pick up, you get certain points for them.
Yeah. Now, the one thing slightly different from most games I've seen in this thing, usually when you die and you start over, basically you just start at the beginning, then you grow up to your segment size that you're currently at and then on. This will actually pre-draw segments in zigzags of when you start, and you have to start with that pattern already on. And it speeds up quite quickly.
Does it have certain objects that are just obstacles?
I'm not sure. I didn't
collect them.
I haven't actually played it yet, so I don't know. But I think everything's pretty well points. But it definitely speeds up to the point where it becomes just about
Okay, does it get any longer?
Eventually, yes.
Okay.
Come back in 20 minutes, Stevie.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But the timer is constantly going, so you're getting faster and faster the longer you take to get the number of points and get to the next level.
Oh, so I see what you're saying. When you respawn, you're in a pre-configured shape.
Yeah, which is different than most of the ones
Yeah.
of this type of game I've seen. And the speed up, I don't recall too many of them doing that, speed up where it's that quick to get you up to the point where it's unplayable.
Does it get longer after you die?
It
looks longer to me now.
That seems rather unfair, don't you? Don't you want it longer
Well,
while
yeah,
you're still alive?
you get punished for sucking at the game.
Hi-yo.
Well, you deserve it, obviously. Come on.
Right. Sucking. Well, never mind. I'm not gonna say.
It was a different one. I've never seen this one, and it had a few differences between the standard snakebite type stuff. So
Yeah, absolutely. Picking up prizes, and they don't last very long either.
Well, you can't have it all, Stevie.
You're
That's
done,
cool.
son.
That's cool. I like it.
next one is Wizard's Quest, which is based on an engine that has been used for a couple of games on the Dragon.
Is it the Don't Suck engine?
Welcome to Wizard's Quest.
Wizards. That's an interesting way to spell wizards.
Wizards.
Yeah.
Wizards.
Wizards with a lisp is what it is.
It's a wizard. He's
Please
going to
go
whisper
on your quest
in your
and
ear.
go with the wizard, and then yeah.
Sounds fabulous.
How do you say that last name? Skio?
Sio.
Sio.
I don't know.
Spell check not included.
Curtis, press a key.
Looks like Sio.
Specifically A.
Press A key.
There's your instructions. Fair bit of keyboard control stuff here.
D for die.
Oh, this looks like a Spectrum game. Totally looks like
it might have been
Spectrum
originally,
game.
actually. I can't remember if it was.
Yeah, like an AGD type stuff.
But the same style engine as Night Lore uses.
Okay, yeah. Well, not really. Night Lore is isometric. But okay,
terrible though.
Oh, that looks kind of neat.
It's fast.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, this is
The graphics are
very,
pretty cool.
very
The-
AGD, very Spectrum-ish.
And it might have been a Spectrum port.
Pretty neat,
Ooh,
though.
magic mushrooms. Everybody wants some of them. That might be why he's in this world in the first place. Took too many magic
This is actually
mushrooms.
really taking place just in his head.
Right. There was some birthday cake he just picked up.
I mean, it kind of does that fake isometric, not quite isometric, I guess, but sort of 3D look from the top. Like
Yeah.
we've seen on some other dragons.
It's like Zelda-ish, right?
No, I like it.
Yeah, I
And
think
a pretty
this
good
is
use
cool.
of the black and white color set, I think.
Absolutely.
Graphics are pretty detailed.
Yeah.
Look out for that pumpkin.
Sound
and it's
effects aren't bad either.
And it's kind of like bubbles appear wherever the creature is going to spawn. So you get a little warning when the bad guy's going to materialize. Get in there, wizard.
And then each level has a name, which seems to be a common theme in some of the Dragon games too. Like this is level secret passages.
Yeah, no, that's neat.
Anyway. And that one I have ran on the CoCo years ago, so I do have a copy of it somewhere, and it does work on the CoCo.
That was Wizard's Quest?
Wizards.
Wizard's Quest.
Wizard's Quest.
Wizards. Yeah. The wizard is going to whisper in your ear.
It's going to whisper.
What have we degraded to?
Wither the kinky bastard, that's what he is.
Oh my god.
This is bad.
Hey, did you expect
And
anything
we've
else
hit a
from the
new
show?
low.
Next up
Yeah, Pat
is
Howard's turn.
Vultures, which is a Galaxian style game.
Okay, I'm intrigued. I like that. Oh, look at that!
It
How
looks
you can
like
slide
Ulters.
across the. You can slide across your difficulty there.
Yeah, and I'm guessing by the fact that you can actually position within it. I think there's several
There's
levels of
shades.
full, several levels of
There's
medium.
shades
yeah.
of medium, huh?
It told you which joystick to use in the beginning. What is that all about?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you're supposed to like unplug and plug back in
That's,
like
that's
crazy.
not good for Joey sales.
I know.
Yeah. Just obsolete the Joey story.
You see which joystick is, you
Oh,
flip
no.
the switch.
Hey, this is
Yeah,
pretty
that way you know
cool.
which way to flip the switch.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. There you
What
go.
are those yellow and red circles behind it, though? I don't understand.
Those are eggs that kind of crack open and launch. I'll see if I can
Oh, so a little bit of the Phoenix element.
Oh, see.
That's
That's
where
kinda
it actually
neat.
gets to that point.
They're kind of like, yes. So those were
And they're super aliens
unfertilized
'cause they got
eggs,
a
and
big
once you
S there.
fertilize the eggs, the miracle of life happens, and then it comes down.
Super aliens. They even have the little S like Superman does, huh?
Yeah, so it's kind of a hybrid of Galaxian Phoenix, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Interesting little.
It's like a
game mix.
aliens game somebody was making or something.
I can't remember if anything special happens when you kill the last one.
Well, we're
I guess
talking
we're
about-
we're not
we'll
gonna
never
find out.
Oh well. And the next one here is the last one I have. This is not from Jim. This is from
This
our
is our
friend,
this was our
Rob
lava
Retro's
lamp
Randables.
guy, right?
Yeah, and I'm just going to show the video here a little bit. He does his normal, really funny take on it type thing as he learns to play it. But since this is the game that actually Steve is going to be demoing for us, I will not play the video here in this case. We'll actually just
play
go
it
to
for a
Steve.
second, just so they can get a sneak peek of what it's going to look like. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, maybe we can see level 2 if you play the video.
Yeah, I've made it to the 3rd round in this one, so
He's made the high scoreboard top 5.
Yes,
twice at least.
Quit
that I've
talking
seen.
your smack now.
thumbs away, Basil.
And this is an original
Basil?
game. I mean, there's
Bombs away, Sir Basil.
Sir Basil.
Right, Sir Basil from
I kind of
Bombs
like
with
the
a
fact that he's got that
50
screen in
seconds
like
to
a
reach
big
the
sphere.
bomb.
That's
Yeah,
kinda
it's
cool.
neat.
Yeah, all of his videos he does that
Bomb
on.
blows up. Each screen has 4 bombs, only one of which is visible at any one time. This is going to be a maze game, isn't it? It's going to be another ruddy maze game.
Sounds excited to play it already.
Yeah, He's good. I love his.
Yeah, his
commentary.
presentation's hilarious. So it's even if the game sucks, it's definitely worth
Well,
watching his
there we go.
videos.
Let's see. We might be wrong. Might be something else. Press up to continue.
So go ahead and scroll over to the
Ooh,
game.
that's loud. Each bomb. Let's turn that down a notch. Press up to.
Unfortunately, he's trying to figure out how to play it himself at this point.
Yeah, it took me a little bit to figure out too. So, yeah, the bomb. You can see the bomb in the kind of the top left corner, right? You got to get the bomb. You kind of leave a trail behind you, so you're making these obstacles as you go. You can't pass through the solid green blocks. But you
neither can the monsters.
You can neither can the monsters, but you can scroll one thing like left to right with the arrow keys. And there's 4 bombs per screen, and you got to get all 4 bombs to leave the screen, and then it goes to a new screen and it goes from 1 spider to 2 spiders to 3 spiders, and the spiders get faster and smarter.
This is a strange game.
It's pretty cool. All right, I guess we can
and they have bonus fruit too, stuff that you can pick up.
Yeah,
too,
we can go ahead and switch to the live preview if you want, and we'll go ahead and try that.
Over because no one got out and picked me.
So we'll go ahead and switch over to
I
that.
actually like this commentary.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah,
I love
his commentary is great.
I love his thing. All right, where is my little?
There's a lesson to be learned there.
All right.
So, I don't have the cool accent. I could never do that.
This is being played on the Dragon, on the XROAR emulator for the Dragon. So we're gonna go ahead and press say no. We do not want instructions. And here we go. So here I am.
Why start now?
I just got 1 bomb. Okay. Here's another bomb. Now you can also use the screen to kind of wrap. So you can use that at your advantage. Is that loud to you guys?
We're not getting sound at all.
Okay.
Yeah, no
It's
sound.
really loud. It's so loud I can't hear it.
All right. So hold on one second. Let me fix my volume mixer real quick, and then I'll share sound, and we'll just start over. I need to turn it down. Yes, that's pretty loud. Okay.
So you say.
Let me share the audio, and we're gonna have to start over because I'm dying. All right. Okay, we're gonna start over. Can you guys hear the sound now?
Yeah, I guess it's loud on YouTube.
Yeah, I just lowered the volume by about a third. Okay, so let's do it again. We're gonna hit no instructions. Okay, so here we go. I just got the bomb. Here's another bomb. You got to get 4 bombs. The next bombs will not appear until you get one. Okay, so that's 3 bombs. Here's the 4th bomb. I got really lucky this time. I got all 4 bombs pretty quickly.
Can that thing get through your green walls
He
that
cannot
you're building?
get through the. He cannot get through the solid green. Okay, so now we've got 2 spiders, and that's my 2nd bomb. Oh, I don't know. I wrapped the screen without realizing it.
Yeah, you can wrap on all 4 sides.
Yeah, and you have to use that to your advantage sometimes. I'm gonna die.
The spiders can't though, right? The spiders can't wrap?
The spiders cannot wrap, no. And the spiders cannot cross your solid barriers. So you can kind of use that to your advantage to protect yourself a little bit. In this case here, I'm screwed.
Oh, yeah, you got screwed there.
Yeah. And then when that happens,
I feel like that
you
wasn't
gotta,
even your fault.
You got to start over with the 4 bomb count again when you die. I'll show you a cool trick here in just a second too, because you can horizontally scroll one of your rows, and that's a neat feature. For example, right now, I'm going to get down here, and I'm just going to scroll that over to me. I use the left and right arrow keys, and I wrap the screen. So you can scroll one line around, and that kind of changes your... Because you can trap yourself in, too. So now we got 3 spiders, and they get a lot faster.
Yeah, that scrolling left, right, that's a pretty good game mechanic. I'd never seen that before.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It's an interesting game, yeah.
And so, yeah, trying to, like, navigate out an empty space, it's really hard to do once you're on the 3 spiders because they're super fast.
Are you on level 4 right now?
I'm on level 3.
Oh.
Because there's 3 spiders.
Must be something wrong with the game.
History in the making.
Is this a hacked copy?
record.
I posted a high score screenshot in Discord. I got like 24,000 on this game or something. So, anyways, it's a cool little game.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
I'll try it one more time. I see. I've got the high score input right now.
The high score screen is horrible, though.
Yeah, high score. Yeah, the yellow on green is really hard to see.
Really bad contrast there.
Yeah.
Actually, Ben Drake says a good point too. The game sounds like a slot machine, and it does. When you collect the bombs or when you collect the fruit, you get that kind of Vegas style sound effect.
Yeah, that's true. It does. So you can kind of wrap around and get stuff. And so in a way, I'm kind of making it hard for the guy to get me, although he just got me. I was trying to trap him in.
How often do you get this scroll?
Anytime. You can move anywhere there's an empty blue square. So you can scroll through the bottom or the top.
I think he's talking about the horizontal scrolling. When
Yeah, that
how
scrolling
often
that
can you do that? I think as often as you want. It's just the left and right arrow keys. See, I've trapped myself, right? So how am I going to get out? This is what I got to do, right? I've got to move the stuff to where I can get to a spot where I can move, right? So... Hopefully that's number 4. Yeah, thank you.
Haha, spider.
Yeah,
not
suck on
today.
that, spider. Yeah, it does sound like a slot machine.
Oh, that was BS.
Yeah. So it's neat, and we should probably post the link to this where we got it. Brian Weasler found this for us because Curtis found the video, but we were trying to find the file on the archive, and it wasn't super intuitive to find it. So I think Brian posted the link, and I got the cassette file to load this up.
Yeah, that's where I found out that there's actually a separate download section. I've always been going to the game links on their alphabetical games page, but not every game they have available for download is on that page.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and end it. But it's kind of neat. So it's an interesting concept where it's not exactly a maze. It's almost like you make your maze as you play. And so it's kind of got a little bit of that Tron-esque light cycle part where you can make these barriers to help keep away your opponent. You can get a little bit strategic and maybe work on maybe trying to trap the spiders before you go for the bombs or whatever the case may be. But you get 50 seconds per bomb. So there's a limited time to grab the bomb before you'll lose a life. And there's some interesting mechanics where you can manipulate the field when you get trapped. So it was kind of neat. And so we kind of spitballed this idea last week where instead of just showing you just the videos off of YouTube of somebody else playing, maybe we'll introduce a little bit of live gaming to the show. And that was our first attempt at doing that. So hopefully it didn't completely suck. What do you guys think of the game? Pretty neat, right?
I liked it. It was innovative. It took parts of Snakebite, parts of Tron, and a few other games, and kind of combined everything into a big mishmash, and then added that whole, you can scroll the entire row of blocks left and right at will. That's interesting.
Yeah. So I think we'll try to do that more often. Not only just show off some of the videos, because it's hard to get all these things and have time to play them all. So if somebody's already done it, and we can just fast forward to the good parts. YouTube's a great tool for doing that, but we'll try to incorporate some of the actual live content too. Good stuff. All right, how about we take another commercial break? Ron's not here. I know Ron's usually the one that needs the potty breaks, but we'll take a commercial break. We'll be able to have a potty break. We can come back with updates and acquisitions and whatever else we want to talk about after these words. Let's see. We have when it comes to showing commercials, we could have the Gsoft commercial, Make the World Great, CoCo 2 and Joey block. We could have the Forest of Doom, CoCo 3 Big Plane.
And now, CoCo Thoughts by Sam.
CoCo Thoughts. Okay.
Actually, that was a good one. You do it again. I like that one. Do it again.
You want to see it again? All right, we'll do CoCo Thoughts again.
By request.
And now, CoCo Thoughts. by Samuel Gimes.
Some truths are self-evident, such as buzzard bait is far superior to Lancer.
Yes.
Team buzzard bait.
Okay. So,
And some videos have obviously not been edited properly. But
yes. How about
Like this entire show.
You know what? I want to see Fletcher. So we're going to play a commercial that ends with the Fletcher one. So we'll be back after Fletcher.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Bruce Moore, and this is Jacob Moore. Gotcha. And we are the Forest of Doom guys, and the Coco Forever guys, and we are Coco Fest, and we love Stevie Stroh.
What if, knowing what I know now, I could go back in time, join Tandy Corporation, and change the course of history? Coco Forever.
How does it feel? I'm still believing.
Hi, this is Ken Reichert, author of Nutroid, Nightmare Highway, and other below-par games for the Color Computer 1, 2, and 3, and you're listening to CoCoTALK with the OG Stevie Stroh.
From the makers of the Switcheroo. Wallaby Cable, Color Computer 3 Dual RGB Cable. Get yours today at cocoman.biz.
Hi, this is Rick Adams, and I'm the author of Temple of Brahm, Shanghai, and now Bomb Threat, and you're listening to Stevie Stroh on CoCoTALK.
What's going on, guys? Stevie Stroh here, and I want to say thank you so much for being part of this adventure with us. It's been such a great experience in doing CoCoTALK every week, and the support we get is just amazing. And so the fact that you watch and listen is all the reward that we need. However, if you would like to become a patron of the show and offer some financial assistance towards the production and hosting costs of the show, we do have a Patreon site available for that, and you can reach that by going to our website at CoCoTalk.live and clicking on the Patreon link. But just do us a favor and watch and listen to the show.
Hello, this is Grant Leedy with CoCoTALK. Got your Coco 3 yet?
Fletcher, I don't need that report tomorrow.
Great, JT.
I need it tonight.
But JT...
Fletcher saved $300 on her office away from the office. Radio Shack's revolutionary Model 100 computer. It's a word processor, phone directory, and dialer. It even communicates with the office computer.
Fletcher, how's that report? Fletcher.
Radio Shack's Model 100. Save $300 and put it to work.
You'll go far, Fletcher. You'll go far.
I think he's Canadian. I've seen him in some Canadian stuff, so that might be why he says processor.
I mean, $300 off the Model 100. $300 off. I don't think it was worth $300 to begin with, but back then they wanted like $1,100 for that thing.
Wow.
It was $799 for the base unit.
I bet it is amazing to word process on that. I bet it's just the best ever.
You know, that was only going to work if the paper didn't jam.
Yeah, Michael Furman's actually been holding one up there, so
it was really good. It was real popular amongst journalists because it was so portable.
Oh,
so
yeah, and it would run forever.
And the battery lasted like a month. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow,
and
that's crazy.
As long as your journal consisted of 40 columns of text by 3 lines, you could fit whatever you wanted.
Yeah. Well, you know, the thing of it is you know, we look at it today and we kind of laugh, you know, compared to what you could walk around with, you know, like a modern laptop. But back then it was, you know, if you were a journalist, you had to wait until you got back to, you know, to work, to sit down at a typewriter to do your job. This enabled people to be on the road and transmit stories. It was the first time that kind of stuff was even possible. So that's why it was really
That'd be pretty neat.
popular for that. Yeah.
And the word processor and some of its apps were built into the ROM, so you basically everything was fixed there. You had up to 32K of RAM. You could type your story in, had the modem built in. You could just dial up and send it up to the newspaper, from wherever you were. And like I said, the battery, which was just double A's from what I remember, actually lasted literally a full month before you had to recharge, even if you used it like 8 hours a day.
And what was the CPU? It was using
insane.
an Intel
8085, I think.
Something similar
Basically
to that.
using an almost MS-DOS era processor.
8085, yeah. Okay.
Wow.
No, not really. It's more similar to is it 8080 or Z80? I don't remember exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, 8080 would be the predecessor one, yeah. Before the 8080.
It also had a barcode reader that was useful for inventory control.
And typing in listings for magazines because you could just scan them in.
Right.
Wow. Now how much would you pay? But wait, there's more.
It also had its own liquor cabinet.
Oh yeah.
Man, you guys really can't
just
read
been
that.
JT, I'm not sure.
I mean, it was pretty much the first laptop on the market. We're pretty close to it.
Now, who made it? It wasn't Tandy. They OEM'd it. Was it?
It was
Kyocera?
Yeah, I think it was Kyocera. Yeah.
So
I got my video working again. I'm just wondering, do you guys hear me in both channels or just in the left channel?
Both. Only
Okay.
Bruce Moore is allowed to do
only-
the one channel,
only
one
Bruce
ear
Moore
thing.
comes in mono.
Okay, cool. Oh, there we go.
It turns out to be like sounds like one of those test audio CDs, Right channel, right channel.
Left
Speaking of Bruce Moore, Bruce, do we have a new Joey and CoCo to?
Yes, you do.
And he's extremely mono.
Quiet and
He's mono and
Yeah.
quiet, yeah.
I'll get louder now.
Quiet
We've
and in my
actually-
left
we've
ear.
actually got pictures of an actual CoCo.
Yes, it's all related.
Okay.
And I like how you check last week's before you go on to this week's because it adds continuity.
That's what we're all about on this show. With this show.
Previously on Joey and Coco.
Previously on Joey and Coco. Many adjectives are thrown out to describe the show, continuity being most oftenly used.
Well, it depends what you describe.
Yes. All right. So how about we do that? We have the author with us. We have the Duke of all CoCo media, Bruce Moore, is here. And previously on Joey and Coco last week, and matter of fact, let's take it back even one more previously, which was
it was a video.
This
was the
season
video.
on Joey and Coco.
Because what happens is that Coco finds out that Joey has a friend who also has a CoCo, and he wants to know if they're related.
New cartridge for Christmas, kid? I don't hear it.
Nope.
Neither
My
do
buddy
I.
Glenn down the street borrowed it to me.
Wait, one of my brothers is nearby?
Couldn't it be his sister?
Get me the serial number and I'll tell ya.
All right, so there we see that, right? We see that he thinks he has a sister. And then the next strip, which was number 13 says, do you want to do this, Bruce, or you want me to do a poor job at it?
Oh, you go ahead.
All right, because we can barely hear you. All right.
Oh, okay.
Yes. If only these pro audio guys could,
would learn,
get
you
their
learn
audio
how to use two
working.
speakers. And...
All right, so we have Coco said to Joey, "Hey, did you get the serial number of your friend Glenn's CoCo?" And Joey says, "I'll go over this weekend. Why are you so interested?" He says, "Well, maybe he's one of my buddies from the assembly plant." And then Joey says, "Did all you CoCos get along?" And then Coco says, "Mostly, although there was this one guy in my batch who was a royal pain. But what are the chances, right, of all the CoCos to end up being my neighbor? What are the chances? Are we going to find out? Do we look at the strip?
Foreshadowing,
Do we look at the strip first or the pictures first?
Foreshadowing.
Strip first.
Okay, so now it's the latest and greatest Joey and Coco. And here we have it, where we have Joey saying, "Hey, I got the serial number of Glenn's computer. It's 01351. And Coco says, "No, it can't be. It's that jerk from back in the assembly line." And then Joey says, "Well, what's the big deal? He somehow got some hand-wound resistors and he thinks he's a big shot. He got the 16K ECB upgrade, extended color basic upgrade for Christmas. For the love of Pete, now there would be no living with him, right? So his one friend had special resistors, and now he's got a special ROM on him. And here it is, catalog number 01351. No D-Seri. What is this, like foreign or something?
What the heck is 263?
This is a Couleur. This is a Couleur Originale. Wow.
I'm out of here.
Ordinateur.
I can't stand this ordinateur color.
Yeah, what is going on here?
Bye.
Bilingual.
Yes. So this is 13151.
It's caption there. Do you see the caption? You back up for a second.
Okay. Real life. My buddy Glenn's CoCo. So this is your real life friend's Glenn CoCo. And refer to the user manual for warranties. Reportez-vous manuel a something or another. Yes.
Welcome to Stevie Mispronounces French.
Look, it says right here. It says there is.
Tick off the biggest province in Canada.
There is no decat in here at all. So there is definitely.
That is no decat.
There's no decat.
No. And that's the picture of his CoCo. Wow.
That was his actual cat.
So this is Glenn's CoCo, huh?
Yeah.
And the CoCo has something to brag about, because he's got.
What's the overlay for? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I can't quite read that.
It's master control. If you zoom in, I don't know if you can.
I don't know if I can. Maybe on the browser.
But
possibly.
just below the, you also
Color
see
scripts it.
There's also a sticker right by the memory button that does say extended color basic. It came with the ROM, and then you have to put the sticker on there yourself.
Okay. All right. So this CoCo was super duper special. So what we're learning right now is that CoCo had friends at the plant, and one of those friends
is an enemy
that he's not too happy with is his neighbor. Happens to be Glenn's CoCo.
I think if I remember correctly, that's exactly 100 off the serial number D board I had. I think I had 1251 if I remember correctly. Before it broke.
Wow. So that should be a D board then, eh? As well.
Most likely, yeah.
Okay.
Far out, man.
D board next week to see what happens.
We got to see what
Very
happens.
cool, Bruce. Very cool, Bruce.
And we have David Ladd with us. David, and so Jim Brain asked if we could start over. And Jim, just to remind you, this is not a Glenside Color Computer Club meeting, so we don't just start everything over for you take it from the top. This time with feeling. Jim is a valuable member to the community, but we won't just cater to all of his needs.
Oh, so you want my part where I would normally start out with everybody else at the beginning. Oh, yes, everybody, we got to get this show going. Oh, we got to have fun. I hope everybody's ready. Oh, I hope everybody's ready. I am ready. Are you?
Stevie, could you please warn me the next time David breaks into the show like that?
Well, luckily we're wrapping things up here. So
a very docile, docile David Ladd today.
So this is the part of the show that we call updates and acquisitions. Do you have something you want to talk about? Show and tell time. Something you want to share. If you want to share your feelings. Looks like John Strong is raising his hand and raising an object in the air. So how about we take a look at John Strong? Hey, John.
But is he waving it like he just don't care?
Okay. This is just an update for the card process from last week. And we basically got it down pretty much to what it's going to be. This is actually showing a Game Master card inside of it.
Okay.
And the lid's open, so I can easily go and change the EEPROM. Okay. It could be a project where you may want to instrument it or change something other chip or anything like that. So a nice little flip top.
That's neat.
Okay.
Very nice.
And I've kind of upgraded it from that one a little bit. And here you can see it actually has the brass inserts in the bottom. And then on this one, I have brass inserts on the side.
Oh, wow.
And the hinge is for that, so it doesn't, there's no chance of tearing up the hinge inside from screwing, unscrewing it, coming loose.
Okay.
And so it makes a very nice little, a little snap fit. There's a little bit of gap in the front.
It's okay.
But that's, this is not to be a end user product. It's just a development product. So that doesn't make it actually gives you a place to catch a fingernail in to lift the case open.
Yeah, it's also a good ventilation.
Yeah,
How
and
do you
so
put those inserts in?
and so it's designed to hold the general boards there. This is the version 2 of the board's Super Pack Proto board.
Okay.
The spacing for the supports are to match that.
Okay.
So again, this is not to replace the great little red molded case.
That's a retail product. The next day, yours
Yeah.
is a development product. Yeah.
Yeah, and so but it's designed to, spacing on the supports and everything to match, to make it easy to take a development item and then switch to this.
Right. I think Mikey was asking a question about the brass parts. Mikey, were you asking John a question?
Yeah, I was just asking how you put the inserts in.
Heat.
You heat up the brass part and then just sort of shove it in.
Yeah.
Heat it up and shove it in. All right.
Soldering iron.
Soldering iron. That's also known as the Curtis Boyle curling iron. So.
Well, it has a spatial tip on it, so the insert just goes over it. Okay, and it goes in.
Make sure you hold that correctly, like that girl in that.
Yeah, the pictures are passing around where they're holding it from the
Okay.
He's holding it correctly.
Smells like chicken.
I am exploring a little bit more with that. So to be able to have a insertable panel.
I like the idea, because if you're working on something and you want to pop things in and out and try stuff, and if you need to wind the watch on your real-time clock, you got to be able to pop open the case to do that. So
yeah, right. But the idea is it gives you something here. Like Paul Barton's built a project that's going to have a bunch of connectors, and while he's prototyping it, you could use something like this.
Right. Well, so here's
available.
the thing. Just here's a perfect example. So Jim Brain showed off his MIDI board, right? And the MIDI board, the board itself could fit in that Game Master cartridge, but there's no knockouts for his MIDI in and out and through. So a cartridge-like solution that's somewhat customizable, flexible, right? Because if you have that, if you get the injection molded one, your only option is to drill it or use a saw or a hacker or a Dremel or something. You got to manually modify it. It would almost be neat if there was a cartridge case that had certain perforated knockouts, and you could break out areas if you needed them, and if you didn't need them, they would be there, or something like that, or some doors and panels that you could flap open.
You could add a panel,
like a Swiss Army knife of cases.
There's several ways you can make a panel. You can, I probably will include at least one panel with that's 3D printed, and you'll need to work with it with a hot knife or something like that.
Okay.
But you could do a PC board. You could drill that. You could do plastic, anyhow way you want to for your prototype and get your positioning done, or just leave it open and then measure it and do when you're done with your design, modify one of these. But the idea is to make it easy to do the development, get into your product, and
So, so you're thinking this is going to be probably a limited market, right? But you are going to make this available to the public, right?
Yes.
And what do you estimate the street price of that might be?
Well, yeah, I'm trying to think what I want to do, but I probably right now we'll try introductory at 15.
Okay.
Okay, and we'll see how
that
is.
includes the brass fittings and everything else too.
Yeah, that would include what you see here.
Okay. We're not going to hold you to that, but we will.
Yeah,
we will publicly shame you if you change your mind. That's all.
Yeah, well,
that's right.
Hey, even if I don't change much, I can do that. So what's the big deal? You know, anything different than normal? Helium voice. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Not the last
cool.
time.
That's cool.
But that's the goal, is to do it for 15. You know, people.
Now, how smooth is this plastic compared to some of your earlier runs, like your CoCo SDC? Those were a little bit textury. Is this a smoother printer and stuff you're using now, or material?
The sides a little texture to it.
Okay.
The flat sides are fairly smooth, pretty smooth, kind of shiny, depending on the plastic. So, yeah, there's a texture on the side.
Okay. I like it. I like the white. It's a neat color for a cartridge case.
And so that's kind of the deal that, you know, there it should be neat. I still got a pass or so on this to do to get the panel sizing and stuff out right. But, you know, I think it's going to be useful, kind of nice to have. This will probably be a little bit more expensive. You know, some extra work to do with extra panel, extra prints, kind of thing to do that.
Okay.
So, you know, if anybody interested, contact me. Let me know if they're interested, so I can know to go. But
all right, neat.
That's like I said, it's, you know, it looks like it fits in pretty nice. You can get pretty well in there. EEPROM here might be just a little bit awkward to get in and out, but you can still get in and out. Okay, and so that's basically it as far as the hardware side.
Okay.
Okay.
Neat. Does that conclude your sharing session? Because I think I got another person holding something up that they want to share.
Oh, is that what we do?
Are you good? Are you good, John?
Yeah, I'm just doing some software stuff I'm not talking about yet, so we're good on that.
Okay. I saw David O'Connor holding up a cassette tape. What do you got there, David?
Oh, I just was digging through some of my archives, cassette archives actually, during the week, and looking for stuff that I was going to transfer onto my computer, and I found a whole bunch of my original Tandy computer cassettes, including the very first cassette that I ever got before I had my CoCo. This was actually from a Dick Smith System 80.
Oh, wow. That's got a whole 50 feet of tape, huh?
Yep.
Wow. Ellis Street, Mountain View, California. That's right down the street from me. Basically.
Yeah, that cassette there, I got that in about, it would have been 81, 82 maybe.
Wow,
so that's almost
really good
40.
Shape.
Yeah, almost 40 years old, that tape. And I've also got a bunch of these, the original Radio Shack computer cassette.
Leaderless.
Yeah, that's the inside it to pay all the
Did you say you got that last cassette in 81?
Yeah, probably somewhere around there, maybe even before that. No idea.
Let's see if it's older than me.
What's the serial number?
There's let me just get that to focus.
Yeah, what's the serial number?
That's very fuzzy.
There we go. It'll focus in a sec. Hang on. Zoom. Let's get
this version. This hour of CoCoTALK brought to you by Blurry Vision.
Yes.
Focus.
It's the competitor to the ColecoVision.
Yeah, right. Blurry Vision.
Yeah.
It's
a ColecoVision with a bad RF cord, so everything's fuzzy.
Our graphics aren't as good, but you'll never know.
There a little bit.
C20.
Cassette.
Oh, almost.
Almost. There we go.
There you go, C20.
Hey, C20.
Certified leaderless.
Yeah.
Felt like I was going to get an eye exam here. Does it look better this way or this way?
Also, better one, better two.
Yeah, ATA 9. Look at that. Look at those.
Those fancy reel-to-reel ones.
That's pretty cool looking.
That's gangster.
Tandy. Does anybody remember the Rainbow Rider? It was basically using high-res P-Mode 3 screens with text and everything. You could use, it was for CoCo 1, and you could do 80-column text and everything on a standard CoCo.
I do remember it was a competitor to like Telewriter and VIP Writer, or Super Color Writers was known back then.
Yep. And also the old obligatory TDK cassettes that we all used.
That's the ones for backups, right?
Yep. TDK D90s. The problem with the D90s is you had so much tape there that you write the counter numbers off one particular cassette recorder you've got, and you play it in a different one, and the counter numbers are all different. You got to search through all your things to try and find your programs. So the longer tapes were not particularly practical. And
Right.
regardless of what it says there, I actually didn't record that with Dolby turned on because it's a computer tape.
Okay.
And finally in the collection is an original cassette
Tandy
of Scramble.
color computer. Scramble.
That's the microdeal version too, right? The ones that were sold to
Yeah,
the,
it's the-
Dragon Market in UK too.
Now, which one is Scramble?
That's the Tom Mix Scramble game.
Yeah, but
spelled with a
don't
K.
remember it. I don't remember which one it was.
Chemo 3.
Spelled with a K to avoid copyright infringement.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Obviously, because it's a
Got it.
totally different game with that. So
Yeah.
The K
So,
is
yeah,
for
that's-
copyright.
That's just a little bit of
Timbermain.
stuff from the archives. But the one that's the one that really got me going. That one there. It's like it's 40 years old, that cassette. And it's still.
Wow.
I actually I plugged it into my CoCo one, put it in the original CCR. What is it? 81 or whatever it is I had here, and press play, and it all loads. Still works.
Wow.
So, yeah, pretty
Neat.
happy with all of that.
Neat.
So that's my little show and tell for this week.
Very
Cool.
cool.
That was awesome.
Yeah, cassette heaven
Well,
right there.
Well, not to be outdone, but I was able to quickly dig through the archives, and I found some of the
You
original.
turned off your
CoCo.
camera.
Why did my camera just die? Yeah, that's helpful, isn't it?
Yeah, hold on.
Yes.
Who needs a camera to show things?
We don't.
Right?
We don't have to look at you anymore when that happens.
I
yeah,
know,
so there
right?
was some positives.
Right, but I found here just in the archives here the original C10 and C20 tapes that we bought from Radio Shack, and until we realized, hey, we can just go buy the cheap tapes, just fast forward past the leader. But
okay,
right,
and yeah, C10 and a C20. So this, got the red one got the red and the blue, and I don't know. I'm looking at this one here, and there's the card is still. The card is still here, and there's a lot of things that say Ken on them.
crap.
Yeah. Ken. So
right.
I got to put this in the player and see. But,
Can own this cassette.
yeah, and some of this is far back enough. I don't know if this is Ken Jr. or our father Ken Sr. men have done something on here but most than likely my brother. But it would have been, if it was something my dad did, it would have been like word processing. It would have been color script set, and and then we got the. Oh, and in the C20 at the very bottom we have Yahtzee.
Ooh.
Yay!
So, I'm gonna have to fire these up.
You know what the proper name for that card is that goes in a cassette?
J card.
Yeah, it's called a J card. It's called a J card because it looks like the letter J. Yeah.
J
what do those numbers stand for in the models? Is it
it's how many minutes?
feet?
10 minutes?
Yeah,
20
it
minutes? Or
minutes?
feet?
Yeah, so I think it was
10
minutes each side. So like on the C20 is 10 minutes each side, so the C10 was only 5 minutes.
5 minutes on each side.
Yeah. It actually says if it's really hard to see, but it does say like right here so many minutes per side.
Oh.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
Oh, so the number is combined from both sides.
Right. That's just like when you get a 90-minute tape. There's
It's
only 45 minutes.
Okay.
on
Yeah.
each
No,
side.
it's been so long since I've used tapes. It's
right.
Yeah. I know. It's like,
I think at one point I had gotten like the one, not for computer stuff, but the 120-minute tapes, but they're just so darn thin. But then I could record an hour on each side.
Yeah.
I actually did use 120s for computer tapes for a brief bit, and I found out they weren't that terribly reliable, so I quit.
No, that'd be only. I was only doing that if I was trying to record like a couple hour-long radio show or something off the radio. That I would get those.
The two biggest problems with the thin long tapes, the 120s. The main problem with them for computers was a tape thing called print through. And print through is basically where the layers of tape you got where they wind around each other. It's magnetic, right? So if you've got a magnet sitting next to a magnet, it transfers the data from one layer of the tape to the next layer. And when you play the tape, it ends up in an echo of the previous data over the top.
Like a pre-echo.
Like a pre-echo. One spot and running with the devil.
It's like magnetic bleed through.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
That
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
It's like a pre-echo. You can hear it. You can hear a real faint version of it right before you hear the louder version of it. The one's Led Zeppelin song. You can hear it when
that was done a little bit differently, but
it all depends on how you store the cassettes too. If you store them rewound, you'll end up with pre-echoes, and if you store them all fast forwarded to the end, you'll end up with post-echoes.
Right. Oh wow, cool. I can remember back in the day when I was like 15, trying to get my first album. My goal was to fill up a 90-minute tape. So that's not really anything done anymore, I don't think. But whatever.
Yeah, mixtapes became like mixed CDs, and the whole.
Yeah, now
whole
it's
thing.
just called Amazon Prime.
Yeah, now it's a playlist, right? So
Well, cassettes are making a big comeback. I mean, the album I'm working on at the moment, CoCo Music, I'm going to be releasing that. Obviously, it's digital downloads as well, but I'm also releasing it on cassette.
Sweet.
There's
I guess
a
I'm gonna have to
market
go
out
buy
there
a
for
cassette
it.
player now.
Yeah.
Well, there are
Just
people
play it
that
on your
actually
CCR81. Just pick that up and
a lot of musicians are.
Just pick it up and go. I'm all set. I got my CCR81 right here. We're all ready to go.
Creedence Clearwater Revival. Cool.
Yep.
And all that plays out of theirs. Creedence songs.
There's a bathroom on the right.
Right. I got a small thing to share if you guys want.
Yeah, please.
I've been making some progress on Downland. I'm gonna just do a quick share.
Okay, I have to stop sharing sound. Go ahead.
Okay. Let me see. So, I got Erico working on some tiles for me that I'm kind of excited to see, but I got some things going on here so I could just start doing some testing. Yes, I started using some of the kind of off hues of the 64 palette. So not your straight RGB mixes. They're a little bit off from that. One of the things that helped me do that was that 64 color chooser that I wrote not too long ago. And I actually gave that to Trey too to help him out with some of his stuff that he's doing. So yeah, it kind of helped me get a scope for the colors. But this is the rough draft of the first level. I mean, I honestly don't know if it's going to work yet or not, but I'm gonna give it a shot.
What are the diamonds, the orange diamond shapes? Are those actual diamonds you pick up, or is that like a marker for something?
Those are the pickups for the diamond. So I originally had the diamond shaped like the original Downland, but I rotate them, and I didn't like the rotating animation for that. So I put these. My brother Tim says, he goes, "Hey, are those Cheez-Its?" And I was like, "Damn it, they do look like Cheez-Its."
Yeah.
You ruined it now.
Giving me the munchies, man.
That cannot be undone now.
And I'm like, I wish that I couldn't. I wish I wasn't done compiling all of my sprites now that you've said that. So I'm not going back and changing all that because that was a shit ton of work. But anyway,
Is there any plans to make them look all like goldfish crackers?
No, that's in Downland 3. Okay,
Yes,
so just hold out for that goldfish crackers. I'm gonna write that down.
You could have had like a Cool Ranch Dorito for a diamond too, So.
I don't know about you, but it's Team Nacho Cheese Dorito.
So this is obviously a taller screen.
Yep. So I'm gonna have scrolling, and I thought in the first level, so the width of the screen is the same, but you actually scroll down.
Okay.
And then you're gonna work your way back up. And there are trophies that you can collect and secret ways to get that done.
Okay.
And I'm looking at a different one here. But there are some shared assets between Chet's game and my game too.
Like the bat?
The bat?
Yeah, that bat in particular was originally slotted for Downland, and then Chet chose to use it in Digger 3 too, so it ended up being like a really valuable asset for the CoCo 3 games. So that was cool.
Neat.
So this was just me kind of trying to mess around with different things on this one. This one isn't like a mock-up level or anything, but
So some shared universe. kind of thing
Yep,
going on.
absolutely. So,
Are there any Homer Simpson looking dudes in this game?
there are no Homer Simpson looking dudes here, but there are some other surprises. So,
Okay.
I just wanted to show that there was some progress being made on Downland 2.
It's looking good.
That was
Yeah, it looks very cool.
So
I do like the fact you do use an alternate color than just the RGB though, like the purplish background, because that makes it look more unique than.
Well, yeah, and
because a lot of people just choose the other ones because they're easier to calculate and figure out, and if you want to do cross hatching and stuff. So
yeah, they were
give it a unique
easier to
feel.
calculate, but on your eye, they just were like murder sometimes. Like green in particular was really bad. But yeah, I don't know if you guys noticed either that there was cave doors, and the ones that you want to go out are covered with rocks. So you would collect pickaxes this time instead of keys, and you can kind of choose different routing instead of it just being kind of straightforward like the original Downland was.
Okay.
So something I'm kind of playing with. I'm not sure if it'll stick, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I did notice the cave doors.
Yeah, so yeah, and that was like another asset like from the tile set for Digger 3 too. So what the heck was that?
Oh, demons in here.
So
Spooky.
So yeah, there you go.
Very cool.
Cool.
Very cool. Brian Weasler, have you gotten anything new lately?
I did get a couple things actually. In my effort to try to get my complete set, there was a person out there on eBay selling a lot of 14 cartridges and a couple books. Wow. And the reason it kind of attracted me is that it had a couple cartridges, or one in particular that I've been wanting to get, but also two, I have some where I just have the ROM cartridge. I don't have the manual or a box. And this had a lot of manuals with it. So I don't necessarily have to rattle through all of them though, but like had Personal Finance and Typing Tutor and Canyon Climber. In this group, what I thought was kind of interesting, it has the math bingo and the color baseball and the color file, but like we were talking last week, I have the one that says bingo math, and it's a white label. This one here is math bingo, so kind of that variation thing that we were kind of talking about, trying to get the different variants of that. Microbes and Stellar Life and Popcorn was in there.
Neat.
And also Downland, Pinball, and Galactic Attack. And then the one that I was wanting was Backgammon.
Okay.
I don't have that one there. So, but then in his group, he had all the manuals for all of that as well, and then some. So about half of this is the manuals that go with what I just showed you.
wow,
And then it
cool.
also had the other ones. So I'm going to be able to take some of these and make complete sets. Because I do have some silver boxes that I bought. So the ones that are the new print that people have made and sold out there.
Yeah.
So I can,
Nice.
Yep. So I can take some of these manuals and then make complete box sets of some of them that I have. It also in the group was color cubes and that one there, which I have this in a what do you call it?
Pack.
The blister pack. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep. So that was in there, and then also had 2 books which I already have, but it was still kind of neat to get them. Those
you get some really cool books. Yeah.
Yep, the 101, and then this one here, which I think people have seen this one before. So.
Yeah.
So that came in that group there. So that was kind of a fun one to get. And then another thing, and I posted a picture on it because I liked the cover. And this one seemed to kind of spark some interest. I don't know if it's just not very common out there, but it was the TRS-80 color computer experimenting or interfacing with experiments.
Okay.
I guess I just like that front cover though, but I don't know if it's very common. I didn't see it out on the archive. I don't know. I just happened to stumble across it and I picked it up. But it basically breaks down the CoCo. I think it's more CoCo 1 related, but it gets into all the electronics and the innards of the CoCo and shows how to do some experiments and things with connecting things from the outside world in. So
David Lord
That looks
says
like a
he
cool
has
book.
that book scanned.
Oh, it is out there. Okay.
Yeah.
Who does?
David Lord in the live chat.
Is that should get? I want to get a copy of that. Is that on the archive?
I'm not sure. David, do you know if you posted that to the Color Computer Archive? David's also the one who scanned the assembly language graphics book.
The Don and Kurt Amen one?
About, yeah, he scanned that one and I posted it for him. But yeah, I've got the hard copy and he scanned one that we recently posted to the archive.
Yeah, David just said he'll put it on the archive. So
okay.
Thank you.
There you go. And then lastly, something I forget the gentleman's name. He posted on the Facebook group there some controllers that he thought would be kind of interesting. So I went ahead and bought a set, and they came as a pair.
These are the paddle controllers.
Yeah, kind of a paddle controller.
I've never seen those before.
Now it's not CoCo specific, because you can see here the connector.
That's really weird.
Is a different connector though, but it's just a 100K ohm resistor, and like somebody commented on my post, it's just doing a voltage divider, which is basically what the CoCo's doing inside the joystick there.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is lop this end off, and then put DIN connectors on each end there, and then make two paddle controllers.
Now, do they spin 360 degrees, or do they stop?
They do stop there, so you can go this
stop
way
and roll back and roll back.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So you can only go. Yep. So, but I kind of thought, and I on the Facebook group there, I'd asked the question, what games do you think of, and had quite a few responses from
Popcorn.
people. Yeah, some where you just doing just that lateral movement there.
Yeah.
Now I could wire this up so that way I could have a switch to flip from the X to the Y.
Horizontal to vertical, yeah.
You might need a special Joey controller for that or something.
Oh.
There you go. So, then I did find the original post and reposted it in mine there. So if people are looking for the place where you can buy these from, although it doesn't ship very quickly. I almost forgot that I ordered these actually, because it was about a month and a half ago, and they finally showed up the other day. So, it's not a very quick.
I believe it places out in Western Ohio somewhere that sells those, like Finley or something.
You're right. You're right. I don't remember. It's here. It's
like a surplus electronics or radio place or something.
Yeah.
Really? I could drive to Finley from here. It's like less than 50 miles.
The company was Fair Radio Sales, and it's in Lima, Ohio.
Oh.
Is where they're at there. So yeah. So that's all I got. So a couple of fun little acquisitions, and I'm gonna play around with those controllers and see how they work.
Neat. What about anybody else? Anybody else got anything they want to talk about this week that they've been working on? Anything they? Okay.
Yeah.
L. Curtis Boyle's raising his hand, and then
I'll let Michael go first. He hasn't been on in a while.
Mikey, he likes it.
Hey, so I've kind of been not doing much CoCo stuff the last couple of months. Nothing wrong. Just after last August, I really got burnt out. So was doing life, and now I kind of want to get back into it. So there's a couple things that I'm working on PyDriveWire. We have to get up to Python 3. This Python 2 is end of life, so we're working on that. And there have been some requests for DW term, and there's been a request for CoCo VGA version of DW term. So I've been researching how to do that one. So, and I have a couple other things I'm working on that'll probably be out around CoCo Fest time. So
okay, very cool. Well, we're glad you're back in the
and
world of CoCo.
I had one more comment. I have a couple weeks ago, I went on eBay and I found a very interesting non-CoCo TRS-80 item, which I think it's shipped already. I think by next week I'll have it. So if it comes in, I'll show it. I'll show it off. I don't know if it's going to be working, but I think you guys will go, "What the heck is that thing?" Okay.
So you're just going to tease us with it, and we'll have to wait and see, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Well, it has to show up. So.
Okay. Very cool. Very, very cool. And L. Curtis Boyle was raising his hand very politely, like he was in school.
CoCo school.
Ooh, Mr. Carter.
At any rate, last week while I was sick, as you guys probably heard from last week's show, I did some perusing about the web there, and I found a site that had a bunch of just randomly retro stuff from all kinds of stuff. And the guy was based in the UK, so he had some Dragon stuff. He had BBC Micros. He also had modern, more modern PC style stuff too. But he had some manuals for some games that weren't on the archive yet, so I threw those up on the archive. There was Darkmoor Hold, 2 versions of the Dungeons of Death from Sugar Software. There was the original manual, then an updated one they did a year or two later. Major starting to preserve Quandic, so those manuals are up there too. But one thing I found rather interesting on there is he had a couple issues of the Cuthbert Chronicle, which it's kind of a magazine and also a microdeal ad thing. And it was like not just for Dragon games, though that's what apparently it started with, but then it started covering all the other stuff the microdeal was selling for, which included the C64 and the Spectrum and a bunch of others. So there's 2 issues of that I've uploaded to the archive as well. I will share my screen here if you want, and I can just show you the one here, and you guys can check the other one out on the archive itself.
Okay.
So can you guys see that?
Cuthbert Chronicle, microdeal, announced software for Commodore 64, Atari, BBC, Oryx Spectrum, Electron, and VIC-20. Wow.
Yeah, this is the June 1984 issue. The other issue that was up there is a 1985 one. They go through a little bit of a history, and then you can see stuff here like a Space Shuttle, which is actually the Commodore version of the Tom Mix one, from what I can tell. So I wasn't even aware that had been ported. But then they got, ads for, some of the Dragon stuff itself here. Like here's Buzzard Bait.
We don't see anything. I'm only seeing the title screen still, the cover.
Oh, okay. Let's see what's going on here.
Interesting. They're showing Commodore 64 and
okay, now I
VIC-20.
see you scrolling down. Okay. UFO and touchdown. Okay. Are you a Cuthbert lookalike? In the beginning.
Yeah, that's kind of the history of microdeal a little bit there. There's that Space Shuttle for the Commodore 64.
Okay.
Full page ad for Buzzard Bait.
Oh.
Team Buzzard Bait.
The better version of Joust, right?
Yes. Self-evident.
You guys are all wrong, but anyway.
Nick Morota's favorite game.
Yes.
And talking, I interviewed with one of the programmers that did some of the Cuthbert games that they basically used for anything.
Okay. Tandy owners. Keys of the Wizard. Cuthbert in space.
See, the interesting thing is that Tandy in the UK was allowed to sell third-party stuff. Like 8-Ball, it was originally by Antco, and Caterpillar 2 is by Tom Mix, Keys of the Wizards by Spectral Associates. So these are games that the Radio Shacks, or Tandy stores, I should say, in the UK were actually allowed to sell on the shelves for color computers or for Dragons type thing. And I really wish they'd done that in North America, because they probably would have had way better sales if people knew everything that was available.
Wow, neat. This is a well-produced, very colorful.
Yeah, it's basically a magazine, and I think it was actually put up by Microdeal themselves. So, then here they get into the VIC bit, which is the stuff that they sell for the VIC-20. And
very cool.
So they had different sections for the different computers, and they added more computers as they went on. But they kept doing the Dragon stuff right through, I think, to the end of the actual magazine itself. But
yeah, I like that full page one for the Buzzard Bait. That was a nice, nice artwork.
And they had games to play.
Word search. Wow. Look at this. Now how much would you pay? But wait, there's more. Club specials. So I would love to have a Microdeal t-shirt. that little guy is so cool looking,
Yeah. Cuthbert look-alike competition?
Preferably alive. Wanted, preferably alive, right? So there's a pound-off coupon right there. So
yep. Cuthbert in Space available for the Commodore 64, Dragon 32, and Tandy Color.
Tandy Color.
C-L-O-U-R.
Color.
Spelled correctly.
Yes.
Anyway, that's the first issue they had, and there's a second one from the year after that, which actually mentions the 6809 show in the UK, which actually covered Dragons and CoCos too. It was a show kind of like Rainbow Fest. So
yeah, that's cool. That's a hidden gem of history right there.
I don't know if the other issues have been scanned by anybody. I didn't even know that this thing existed until I just stumbled on it by accident. And like I said, I got 2 issues that this guy had on his site, which I put up in the Color Computer Archive. So if you guys want to check out the other one, it's on there now.
Neat.
I'd like to know if there's a Cuthbert goes to jail. It kind of sounds like he's the Ernest of the dragon world.
do not pass $200. Do not pass $200.
Yeah.
Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
Yes. It looks like Aaron's still out there. He says it was neat to see the cover art. Yeah, I'm glad we got a chance to talk to those guys last week because I hadn't really watched their shows yet, and so to get a chance to speak to Aaron and Brent and John, it was nice. It was a good time talking to those guys.
It was a lot of fun. I'm sorry my voice was so crappy on
Yeah.
the call, but thanks for picking up the slack there, Stevie.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have joined in on that one, but I unfortunately fell asleep and slept for like 12 hours.
No, that was probably our afternoon show that did that to you. So
we're good at inducing comas here at CoCoTALk. So
Do not operate heavy machinery while listening to CoCoTALk.
Rick Adams, you got anything to update us with or to share? Or are you good? Or
Not really.
Okay.
I got a Flash Air SD card to put in my CoCo SDC, and I just got that going. So
okay.
So that's my latest acquisition, but that's not much to say there.
Okay.
Did you get any feedback on the game?
Yeah, I haven't had time to download it yet. I want to look at Temple.
Nope.
Maybe we can do that tonight. Maybe we'll do a later on tonight gaming session, and we'll do that.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
Yeah, not any feedback on that at all. So
I was sick. I didn't do much. Like I said, I was just perusing the web when I found that stuff by accident. I wasn't trying to play anything or program or anything else.
Okay.
I can
provide some feedback.
The Air SD card sounds really cool.
Yeah, there's your feedback. Jason just gave us some feedback. So, all right. So,
yeah, I can put things on my CoCo SDC from upstairs now, so I can just open it up as a drive on my laptop. So
yeah, it's neat.
Because like Stevie said, kind of first world problems. Taking on an SD card is so hard, but
yes, exactly.
Nate, anything new in the world of Chet Simpson you're gonna share with us, Chet? You're plugging away on Digger 3 and stuff, or?
Actually, right now I'm working on a circuit design. I needed to take a little break from Digger.
Okay.
Working on the sound stuff. So.
Okay.
But yeah, nothing real big. I might have something in a couple of weeks. Definitely have something for the release of Digger though.
Okay.
Is that
So not
circuit
to push.
circuit you're talking about? Is that the diagram you got in the background there? Is it?
Yeah.
So the ETA for Digger is probably in February, kind of slid to February.
Still end of the month is at present time. So I mean, it's there's nothing real pressing at the moment. I mean, nothing real critical that's blocking me in any way. I just got to get the sound stuff done and finish up some of the levels and some of the play testing. But that's about it.
Cool. Awesome.
Neat. All right. Anybody else got anything they want to update us with, or we're looking like we're getting close to the wrapping things up here for this week, which would be an early show. It's only mere 2.5 hours.
David Ladd said something about raised hand. I don't know if it means he's got something to.
Oh, David
share.
Ladd.
Oh,
This involves the word grease and or weasel. I'm out of here.
Waiting so nicely. Actually, that is what it's about, is the grease weasel.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Roll credits.
Press the button, Frank.
Oh, come on, guys. All right.
Rage quit.
So, and then, of course, we got some weird alien in the background.
Also known as David Ladd.
No, not me. So after going through 20 what they call blue pills and finding that they're all fakes, I did find a source of the what they call black pills, but they seem to have authentic STM32 chips on them. So
and what the hell is that for us to speak English?
Microcontroller.
Okay.
Stevie, microcontroller.
All right.
So
you're talking blue
chips.
Talking blue pills, I was thinking you're talking about the Matrix.
Yeah.
Actually, that's where it got its name from. That's where it got its name from. The original manufacturer actually said that's where the name came from.
Is it a little blue pill?
Oh, only for you, sir. Only for you is it a little.
Does it come stamped with a big V on it? I don't know.
So, but so far, for those that are in the Discord server, I will keep posting more photos of examples of fake chips and authentic chips as I get them.
Okay.
I'll be posting pictures of nacho chips.
I'll be eating nacho chips.
Yeah, that actually sounds
All right,
good.
well, thank you for that. I'm going to go get a bag of Doritos. I'll be back.
Yeah, I'll be back.
Team nacho cheese.
All right. Well, how about we do this? We're going to roll the credits. We'll come back. We'll say hi and thank you to the live viewers. We'll have some parting thoughts and some final thoughts, and then maybe put a fork in this one. So we'll be right back after this. This concludes another episode of CoCoTALK, the world's leading live talk show featuring the Tandy Color Computer. For all things CoCoTALK, visit us on the web at CoCoTalk.live. We'd love to hear from you. Send feedback, suggestions, even segments via email to CoCoTalk at CoCoTalk.live.
CoCoTALK is rocking the 8-bit world, keeping the Tandy flame alive. We may be mocked, but we'll never stop, 'cause CoCoTALK is rocking the 8-bit world.
Consider supporting the show with a purchase of merchandise from our retro swag shop at 8bit256.com. If you'd like to become a patron of the show, click the Patreon link at our website at CoCoTalk.live.
CoCoTALK is rocking the 8-bit world, keeping the Tandy flame alive. We may be mocked, but we'll never stop, 'cause CoCoTALK is rocking the 8-bit world.
CoCoTALK would not exist without the community, its past, crew, and contributors. Thanks go to Curtis Boyle, David Ladd, Mark Overholzer, Grant Leedy, Bruce Moore, Nick Marentes, Ron Delvaux, Rick Adams, Jason Reicher, Richard Lorbieski, Jim Brain, Tom C., Rob Inman, Mark Bosley, Brian Joyce, Ken Reicher, David O'Connor, Brian Weasler, Terry Steggy, Nick Marotta, John Strong, and many more, especially to Steve Bjork for production suggestions and James Diffendaffer for making my head explode. Please help support the CoCo community by visiting some of its various contributors. A list of resources is available at imacoconut.com. That's IMACOCONUT.com. The CoCoTALK theme song is copyright 2008 by D. Bruce Moore and Greg Sheeler. Mixed, mastered, and produced by D. Bruce Moore. Yes.
Did you see my message in chat there, Stevie?
Which one? Video from Ben Drake's Project A developer update. Uh-oh.
He just threw that in Discord, so I thought we might as well play. It's a couple minutes long.
Okay.
Project A.
Project A. How you doing?
Is it one of them Fonzie schemes?
Hello. This is the first developer blog for my upcoming game, Project A. Actual title to be revealed closer to launch. I'll start by showing the turning animation, which I think is important especially in dungeons to prevent disorientation. We're going to walk back the other way, because like the opening of Doom 2, there is a weapon to be found behind us. Here it is. Unlike a text adventure game, I can see the item and I don't have to type commands like get sword to collect it. I just have to press the spacebar. And there we go. One of the benefits of this graphical mode is that I can print text and graphics on the same screen. Now let's turn around and continue the adventure. So the objective is to find an item that can heal your father, the king, but you need the help of a powerful warrior, Dragolo. You have 12 in-game days to do this, which is about 4 real-world hours. Now we're outside, you can see I've made some changes since the first trailer. I wasn't happy with the shape of the peaks, so I've changed those. And more noticeably, I've added a moon. The moon is useful for orientation and being aware of the passage of time, as it goes through phases. You may discover that the moon has an effect on other aspects of the game as well.
Werewolves?
If you take a step forward, there's a text screen that identifies what the peaks are. Cliffs on your left and trees or bushes on your right. And you also now know which way is north. If I turn to my left, that's north, looking out over the cliffs, with the moon in front of me. If I turn again, the moon is now on my right, so I'm facing west. If I turn left again, I can't see the moon at all, so I'm facing south. And one more left turn and I'm back facing east. Let's take a few steps forward. We will come to an entrance in the cliffs on our left. If we go past it and turn around, we can see the entrance is now on our right-hand side. And if we take a step backwards, it disappears from view. So that's working correctly. It's dangerous to travel by road. You should try to avoid fighting assassins until you've leveled up a bit, as they're pretty tough. You'll notice I'm not alone. I'm accompanied by Count Mordrak, so this is a party-based first-person role-playing game. A big step up in complexity from my first game, Ben's Beetle. Alright, before I go, let me show you the moon changing phase. This will happen when you're turning or walking along a path. But time passes even when you're in a dungeon, so try not to get lost. Next time, I hope to show you some combat. Thanks for watching.
Wow.
That's cool.
That was neat. That was really cool. Okay. Now, how do I get back? I don't even know. Okay. There we go.
I just saw him throw that in Discord, so I thought I'd quickly throw it in on the tail end of the show.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Cool.
And Jim Gary's already working on the MC10 version.
Yes. We've had a busy day in live chat today. So Retro Innovations has been here, and Mark B, and Ken Reichert, and Dave and Sharon, and Ben Drakes, Paul Fiscarelli, Nick Marotta, Curtis Boyle, James Jones was out there, Dave and Sharon, Ken Reichert, Amigos Retro Gaming, I think that's Aaron, Jim Brain is there, and Mr. James Diffendaffer, Midnight Rain, called somebody a loser. I missed that one, but that's cool. Jay Brevin came by, and Al Hartman, and James Diffendaffer, and Wayne Campbell was here. Mr. James Diffendaffer, Jay Brevin, Ken, Wayne, Ken, you get the idea here. Strick Yak was here. And James, Retro Innovations, Ben Drakes, Curtis Boyle, Retro. You got it. We got it. Have I missed anybody? I'm probably missed David Lords here. Mikey. Mandelio 420 was talking about how he had the blue and white TRS-80 tapes as well. Dave's Hobbies. There we go. Curtis Boyle and Coco Man says meow. All right. And Ben Drake says thanks for showing that. All right. So cool. Thanks, guys, for being here on the show. And thank you for who's left on the panel who hasn't fallen asleep yet. So Chet Simpson is here, John Lowry, L. Curtis Boyle, Brian the Music Man Shoebring, and Paulie T, Paul Thayer, and Michael Furman with all of his adapters and dongles, and Brian
Serial
Weasler.
RS-232, Drive Wire.
First thing you have to admit is you have a problem.
David
That's like the
O'Connor.
centerfold for a David Ladd page.
Yeah. David O'Connor.
Baby.
Nick Marotta. Mark
That's the
Bosley.
pullout.
That's what he said. That's the pullout. Jason Reichard. John
Where?
Strong. David Ladd. Jason Reichard is here. Since we've got some David Ladd here, David's still with us, and since we're talking about RS-232, how about a little post-credits bloopers?
Hi, this is Antonio Jimenez, author of such projects such as the Stevie Throw Devil and the SD Pack, and you are watching CoCoTALK in 3, 2, go.
I'm behind you making faces. Okay.
You have a script?
You're rolling, Curtis. You say whatever the hell you want to say.
Well, give me some kind of guideline.
Hi, this is Curtis Boyle.
Hey, this is Eric, and you're listening to CoCoTALK.
All right, we're rolling. You say whatever you want to say, David. Keep making faces at him.
Nation, world, sweetie. Weekly, any computer. Something like that.
Hi, I'm Tim. Playing Daggerith like that idiot from the book. You're watching CoCoTALK.
Thank you, David Ladd. Now get back up there for 1 second.
Oh, jeez.
Come on.
What?
Let's get some DriveWire, TTL,
No,
ESP.
no, we don't need any DriveWire or TTL.
Hi, it's Curtis Boyle, part of the CoCoTALK crew of people.
Hi, we're on Elbow Timberman. To experience Coco Fest, you must come. I brought the only working MC10. I could not get.
Couldn't get
autograph.
Ah.
By certain someone you know.
The world's leading weekly CoCo Talk show. Yeah, something like that.
Hi, this is Rick Adams, and I'm the author of Temple of Braun, Shanghai, and now Bomb Threat, and you're listening to Steve Distro on CoCoTALK.
8-slot MPI, floppy drive, CoCo SDC, Sound Speech Pack, Orchestra 90, RS-232 pack, Modem pack, Super IDE. You start adding all those together if you want them all usable at the same time. Well, guess what? You just went over the 4-slot MPI.
Boom.
That's a classic.
Why do you want them all usable at the same time is my question.
Because he's David Ladd.
What are you doing?
I am using the power of my CoCo. I am the ultimate user.
What are you?
It's the ultimate.
What are you
something.
doing? A phrase that David Ladd hears on a daily basis.
All right, we're gonna press the button.
Use a lot.
We're putting ourselves,
Hey,
the
before you
audience.
push the button, I have a question.
Yeah. Yes, Mikey.
When's the last time you guys have heard from Steve Bjork?
Been a little while.
Yes, it's been a while.
Anyone know how he's doing?
Unfortunately,
we'll have to find out next time we'll talk to him.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen him in Discord either, so we'll have to. Maybe we should reach out and give him a ping, see what's going on there.
Make sure everything's okay.
Yes. So we now need to put the show, the audience, and the panel out of their collective miseries by pressing the button.
I'm not done yet.
Oh, okay, David. What do you got?
Oh no.
No, I'm just.
Okay, say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye,
RS-232.
RS-232.
See you at CoCo Fest.
Yes, we're pressing the button.